Hello, my beautiful patrons, I guess, and welcome to the Tabroom. I'm so used to streaming on YouTube, and I call all my viewers peasants, but it feels weird to say it here. Anyway, hello. Thank you guys for joining me on Patreon. I'm pretty sure streaming on Patreon is a new thing, or I sure hope so, because Patreon's been my bread and butter for a long time, so it'd feel very silly that I didn't stream here, considering this is where I am. But yes, hello. There's Aloha. Where am I? I'm scared. Yeah, it's different. So, a couple notable things that I've realized. You guys don't have to see ads anymore. If I stream on Patreon, there's no YouTube ads. I know most people use an ad blocker, whatever. If you don't, the ads can be very annoying. So that's exciting. There's no little pop-up adverts. YouTube's gotten very aggressive with the ads all the time. And I understand. I'm on Patreon. I too like to make a buck. But goodness gracious, I'm hoping this might actually be a better experience for y'all. And I can put pictures in the chat, which is cool. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, hello. So Kai is just lingual. I know many of your guys' names, but you'll have to reacquaint yourselves in the chat, my regulars. I pay for YouTube Premium because I hate ads. Yeah, Ricky and I share an account. We do the same thing because it drives me crazy. I also watch very long videos on YouTube, so he gets on my nerves. I've started watching a lot of videos from Draw Like a Sir. Highly recommend. He is an absolute hoot. Really enjoy his videos. The obnoxious heart spamming on the stream is hilarious. I really quite enjoy that. All right, well, thank you guys for joining. I'm really thrilled about this because I don't feel the need to have to plug myself and be like, oh, go to Patreon. You're already here. You're already here. Love that. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being on Patreon. That's a much more fun thing I get to say now. It's a free stream. I might do patron-only streams, like paid streams in the future, but you can tell I'm not excited about that. I really want live streams to be available all of the time because I understand financial situations change, and it just breaks my heart to think someone maybe supported me in January, but February was tight, so they canceled their pledge, and now they can't come hang out. I just hate that. So I don't plan to do streams like that often, if ever. So yes, we might be here for the foreseeable future. Please let me know how the experience is on your guys' end. I think it's going to be good. I am quite optimistic about this. Yeah. All right, let's talk about what we're doing. So I recently released this very incredible set, I do say so myself. It was Grim Dark, Cursed Clergy, Holy Sisters, Nuns with Guns. And it was awesome. There's still Patreon requests. And so I'm doing that again, but with an Eldritch Fae encounter. So I am featuring Otaka's Fairy Warlock and building a set around her. I've already finished the terrain pieces. You can kind of see them in the background here. And now I'm going to be adding a new patron request, which is from Ian. So thank you very much, Ian, for supporting on Patreon. Submitting a request is a paid, if you're a legendary patron, you can do this as well every month. Ian said, I would like a large hag, please. I love the specification of large because I've never seen a small hag. It just made me laugh. Anyway, I would like a large hag, please. She's broad and heavy, dressed in an extravagant fur coat with undead mink stoles that rear up like serpents. We'll see how much of the serpent Medusa mink stole we include. Great idea, but also outrageous. She has a huge beehive hairdo with a cage worked into it containing some live creature. You could use something from your back catalog, maybe. And she's cackling, of course. Fantastic request. Obviously going to fit into this encounter. Fantastic. Oh, aloha. 1 fry, 1 medium drink, and 1 large hag, please. Amazing. I love that you guys can react to each other. This is so funny. Welcome in, Nifty Nozzle. And if you are new here, feel free to lurk. I know it sounds funny to say that, but I don't know. I don't want there to be any pressure. Like, you don't need to chat. I'm happy to just do my thing regardless. I'm one of those streamers that's especially not reliant on chat. I am what they would call a yapper. I have no problem just talking. All right. Thank you again, Ian, for that request. This is some images I grabbed on Pinterest and the web to feel inspired. I grabbed this goofy cat because when I typed in a reference for cackling, this came up and I just thought it was the funniest thing, and I tend to put things in my reference for that just make me happy, so that was today's. This hairstyle I just thought was incredible, and we're gonna make a much uglier version for our hag. Of course, I had to include the beloved hag from Baldur's Gate 3. Why am I blanking on her name? You know, I don't even want to get into it, because if you, for some reason, haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 and I were to spoil that by saying her name, I would be devastated. It's such a good... That's already spoilery. Anyway, the hag in Baldur's Gate 3 is really cool. You totally don't meet her at any point in the story. Love all these references. We're going to do a mixture of them. I'm unsure about the minstrel. I love the serpent thing. It's ridiculous. It's very fun, but it's so ridiculous. And I don't like having too many competing focal points. I think the hairstyle is going to be where it's at. We'll see. Hello, Indian Sky. Welcome in. Good evening, everyone from the UK. I just love that you guys are all over the place. How fun is that? Ricky Dean Hoover by his full name. That's Mr. M3DM. That is my husband. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. 7 buckets of fries with a loaded twice-baked potato, please. I think we're all putting in our orders. 1 large hag with undead mink, beehive for hair, and a witchy cackle. Would they love to add on the swamp special or the city dweller? Because that comes with a smaller not child corpse. Amazing. Ricky, why'd I get downvoted? My day is worse now. Oh, I'm so glad you guys can now bully each other in a brand new way in the chat. All right, here is the collection so far. I'm also going to start doing these little collection boards and just having them hang out on the screen as I build this collection. I thought that would be a lot of fun. I'm also doing this because I'm really tired of brand new people coming in, and you know, sculpting looks bad for so long. And I hate to be like, no, it looks really good. You just need to come back in like 2 hours, you know what I mean? And I know I have nothing to prove, but it's not as sexy as sketching. You know, when you sketch with a pencil, it just, I don't know. I feel like everyone can kind of see it come together and it makes sense. 3D is not like that. 3D laughs at you. 3D looks ridiculous for a long time. I'm gonna reassort my little preview here. You can kind of see I had the distances all over the place to get a nice dramatic effect for you guys when you came in. Let's put it back together and let's throw ya right up there. I mean, how big can I make this without it being terribly obnoxious? You guys do know I love a full screen. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna rename this from lamppost to encounter. And then we'll give this file a save. And I'm gonna show you the whole process. Sometimes I get a little bit started before the stream so we can just get rolling, but I know we'd probably have some new people here. And I thought it would be nice to show you guys everything from the very, very beginning. The first thing I do in ZBrush is just open a sphere, project file. And the next thing I'm gonna do is open a plugin called ZBuilder. This is just for me to draft the bodies. By the time that I'm done with them, they're pretty much unrecognizable, but I can only sculpt an elbow from scratch so many times before I'm like, is this really the best spend of my time? I'm waiting for Mia to make her own module already. Yeah, I haven't written my own. I had some friends that have written some for me in the past. But that's coming. Yeah, that's definitely coming. All right, I want her to be kind of broad, kind of muscular. I'm not really concerned about her face here. We're just getting some fun proportions. All right, let's make those legs a little shorter because they're a little ridiculous, aren't they? Making her head larger, all that much easier to paint. But yes, this is where they start. If you haven't seen my model process before, it's a little bit of a jump scare, isn't it? Large ears, a little bit of a point. And everything else, let's see, what is our motion scroller doing? Not much. All right, that's gonna be plenty for me to start with. And let's get rolling. Wow. Yeah. This is why I'm putting the little preview at the bottom from now on, probably, because it requires a lot of trust, doesn't it? All right, I'm gonna click on copy tool, open the scene I had before just for vibes, and we'll put it all back together. There we are. I'm also gonna go ahead and grab a base right from the get-go. I'm gonna grab something with a few mushrooms on it. I'll probably tuck in some little animal bones here and there. We're not gonna go with booger green. It's not really a booger green kind of day. Beautiful. Well, so far, how is the Patreon stream looking, y'all? Is it really that much different than YouTube? I'm kind of curious. I know Empress hates change, so Empress, you're exempt from this question. All right, here we go. That's our starting point. Let's go ahead and change the body to get something a bit more monstrous. We are going to do a little stamp up here, I think, because it looks so funny. And I love a good before and after. All right, that's our starting point. I had someone ask me before, like, oh, you use ZBuilder. They pretty much, in so many words, asked, like, oh, isn't that cheating? And I was like, it doesn't help as much as you think it does. Where is the poing? Help. Hey, we haven't had poing in a long time. On YouTube, you can add like stream element bots and stuff like that to have these funny little games and stuff. I used to do that, but I haven't done that in a very long time. All right, we need to give her a lovely hunchback and really just change up this body. Ataka says, my chat doesn't auto-scroll for some reason. That's annoying. Otherwise, great. I heard like 2 little buffers, aside from that, nothing. Okay, all right. Ricky said, wow, there's almost no latency. I can hear me in the other room. It's only a ½ a second delay. That's crazy. So less stable stream, but I can see and react right away. Oh, how fun. Wait, what did I do? You hate change. So when I ask for opinions, I know you'll be like, it's different and I hate it. I'm mostly just giving you a hard time. All right. And then Kai says, now that I'm no longer in school, my newfound time will be making modules. Maybe we'll collaborate at some point. That'd be fun. Yeah, the delay is really, really short. It's like a Discord stream. Oh, I love that. Okay, well, how fun. And again, like one of the perks about YouTube is because I can have more, what is it? What's the word? More reach, more exposure. I don't give a shit about that. I just want to hang out with you guys. I get enough free members that are new on Patreon every day. That's fine. I don't need absolute strangers from the depths of the internet. I will say we've been pretty lucky on YouTube and had a really good experience. But again, it's just not really my priority. I mostly just want to have fun with you guys. And I think this might be a really good place to do that. I've had people ask me before, they're just like, oh, would you recommend streaming to build an audience? And my answer is pretty much the same as it is for everything. And that is only if you like streaming, only if you like doing that thing. Never push yourself to do something that you don't even like just because you think it will give you more success as an artist, like in the business. Like you guys will probably notice, I don't post to Instagram or Twitter or anything. Anything that you see on there is posted from my husband. We have very, very small social media followings, and yet this is our full-time job. So just don't feel like you have to get too far into the social media game to have any hope as an artist. Gosh, this is gross. Very good, very good. I gotta get that head down on that chest. So let's bring that spine up. This model is going to have a particularly excellent before and after. Add some more gravity. I think I'm hilarious. Okay. And I love long, spindly hand claws. That will be great. All right, let's go ahead and scoot those legs under her a bit more so she's not falling over. There we are. More like that. And these feet need to be about 100 times bigger. See? What did I say earlier? When you're like, no, the 3D process is fun to watch. It is fun to watch, but it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence for new viewers, unlike sketching. So that's why I have this little scene down here. Though I suppose if you're on Patreon, you should know that I can sculpt. It makes me happy. I call them emotional support sculpts. They hang out down there and remind me that I know what I'm doing. All right, let's get some clothes on her. Indian says, this is the first time I've live streamed anything. Meaning like watching the stream. Oh, how cool, how cool. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, Ricky can, yeah, you can format your comments. It mentioned the video just isn't sharp. That makes sense. Audio is the same, stream occasionally stutters. Okay. But the big improvement is the chat and comment. Yeah, that is so fun. Just Lingual says, a collab sounds really fun, especially because you have more experience on actually releasing projects. This is true. If you ever want to do that, send me a DM, we'll talk about it. I like that it's more casual. This makes me happy. And you can post links. Huzzah. Infra says, so what you're saying is you don't generate sculpts already done? You actually turn them from digital clay into actual form? I know, it's crazy. Oh gosh. I've had people ask me like, oh, like why don't you just have AI generate it? And I'm like, well, it doesn't look like I made it, first of all. And two, what would I do then? This is kind of the fun part. All right, we're gonna get some clothes on here. But I keep wanting to adjust this body. The body's gonna be really important, but it's so horrifying that I think I want to add some clothes. Okay, it's time to add some clothes. We have these like very heavy layers, yeah, broad and heavy, dressed in extravagant furs. To make a character look more broad, you really just take these shoulders and pull them to the side. It is gonna grab that head, so go ahead and put a small mask on that. And what you're looking for is more of like a triangle shape. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and put those away. This is kind of a horrifying thing to like, oh, Marcia, M3DM, her first stream on Patreon. What's she working on? Oh, goodness. I am really happy with the lack of latency. It makes me want to do more Q&A stuff with you guys. And if the stuttering is really bad, I can probably build something into, I bet OBS has a setting where I can like put in my own 2-second delay or something really small, you know? That sounds like something I can do. Whenever you're doing skirts, it's a little counterintuitive. You would think you would do this because you want like, you know, to cover their butt. You actually don't do that. You put like a little band at the top. You extract a piece and then mask the bottom of it, pull straight down, and then you can inflate that. How cool is that? It's like, whatcha? Now we have a skirt. Pretty neat. Nifty says, can I say I feel the stream quality looks better here by just a smidge? That is possible. So we definitely had a higher quality stream on YouTube, but YouTube decides what you see. So if you don't go to the little gear icon and manually change it, you might get served a lower quality stream. Isn't that funny? Because I'm maybe Ricky would know better than me. I'm pretty sure that the raw data we were putting out on YouTube was a higher quality than what Patreon allows. But again, it doesn't matter if YouTube is like, nope, you get slap. This is you get 480p and you're gonna like it. But by all means, if we feel that this looks even better, that makes me happy. Ataka says, okay, I found the problem but no solution. It does auto scroll, but once there's a message that's longer than 2 lines, that's so specific, it only scrolls to about line 2.8. There's a little scrolling left. And since it's not fully scrolled, the next message does not scroll at all. Is it possible that you're zoomed in on your browser? Like if you do like control minus control plus, maybe you are not 100%? I'm very intrigued by this. Oh yeah, you can't rewind the stream, huh? This is true. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that, Nifty. Okay, well, never mind then. Interesting, interesting. Well, so far, I think this has been a success. You guys know how I feel. I'm like, my nothing ever works ever. But this is working, which is pretty cool. I'll need to do a lot of sculpting on these arms to make them look the way I want them to. But overall, not a bad start. A little more gravity. Another really important part of this is going to be that lovely hairstyle. Will you record the stream, post it on YouTube for extra content? So yeah, Patreon is recording this stream, so I will have the MP4 that can do whatever I want with it after the fact. So I might re-upload it to YouTube, but it'll probably also be available to watch on Patreon. This is in our Discord right now. Empress just shared this beautiful dress. Even though Mia has excommunicated us, I was thinking this for the fur idea. Oh look, you're right here. You're not excommunicated. It's the same stream. We're just on Patreon now. Speaking of, if you guys have reference ideas, post them in Discord. It would seem that maybe, can you guys post images in the chat? I know I can. Do you also multi-stream towards Twitch? I do not. I have never multi-streamed. Mostly because I feel like I would just provide a worse experience. I really like being able to focus on one chat. And yeah, I like keeping it simple. That's probably just in my head though. I'm sure I could do both. I just have not felt compelled or interested to. Hello says, yeah, can you ignore us for 20 seconds, please? Please do not abuse the image upload feature. Reaper says, it's weird. You immediately answer a question just seconds after I post it. See, this is just normal for me. This feels like the same experience on my side. Nifty says, it could be good streaming on Twitch for a shit ton of new people as in views. Maybe. I feel like a lot of streamers on Twitch, you know, only get a couple people, 1 to 2. I don't see why I'd be any different unless I do it for like a long time. I'm also a little skeptical in maybe the quality of viewers. I'm not trying to call Twitch people like gremlins. I'm suspicious. But you're absolutely right. Add some clothes. Nifty said, no, 100% Twitch has weirdos. Yeah, I've been very, very fortunate on YouTube. And again, like, you guys are weird, but you're like fun weird, not like actually weird. The few people I get on YouTube, it just drives me nuts. Like that guy who just comes in and just like, pose when. Like, that's the rudest thing ever. Like, you can't even type out, oh, when are you gonna pose? Pose when. I was like, get out. All right, we are beginning to block out the hairstyle, and I am pausing a little bit in my mind because I'm like, oh, I'm never going to be able to reuse this hairstyle ever again, and it's going to be so much work. I can't help myself. It's going to be a fun time. Can you be just a little poofier? Wow, this looks so... Guys, I feel like this is competing for one of the worst looking starts to a sculpt ever, and that makes me excited because we're going to get it really good before and after. I don't know, I love me a dramatic before and after. Just can't get over how stupid this looks. Oh, it's fun. It's a really good time. Oh, Empress, I meant to DM you about this, but do you have any strong feelings about me reviewing your assignments on stream? It is my strong preference that I do because everyone can learn from your work in addition to me talking about it. But if you're feeling shy and you're like, I don't want you to critique me on stream, just let me know. I know you haven't minded in the past, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to ask again. This is so absurd. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna grab my soft brush here to start building up some shape. How thick is the cap? Ooh, not very thick. So I'll grab move and back face mask and kind of pull it under. Increase my resolution. Excellent, excellent. There we go. Looks like a growth on her head. Cool. Empress says, please, by all means, go ahead. Yes, make us learn. I love it. It's not against terms of service on Twitch to anymore to multi-stream. Yeah, the fact that that was ever not allowed, I thought was absolutely ridiculous. Can we say greedy? My God. Well, I'm glad they backpedaled on that, but I was already not impressed. All right, it's starting to come together. So I need to open her mouth so I can get a nice kind of little cackle. I'm starting to create her nose here. I'm gonna go in with my soft brush and start building up some forms as well. Oh, you guys know I love sculpting me some monsters. Jump scare. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and open. There's a mouth mesh in here. I should be able to grab my transpose line. No, that's going to be more work than it's worth. We're going to just, we're just going to do it manually. Yum. Every now and then, like, you want to try like a fancier feature or something, and then you realize by the time you're done using that fancier feature, it would have been faster just to do it manually. That happens to me all the time. All right. We are opening her mouth just a little bit. Nailed it. There we go. Remember, when you're sculpting a smile, it's gonna look rough because you don't, well, ideally you don't smile like this, you know, it should contort your whole face, you know, so like my eyes get really squinty and like your cheeks move up and this corner should pull back more. Like there's a bunch of small adjustments that are supposed to happen. And until every adjustment has happened, it might look a little horrifying. There we go. In this case, I can kind of get away with it looking bad, which is fortunate. Oh goodness, Aloha. Well, Aloha's having a good time. Does this hag shop at Ulta? Gorgeous cheekbones on her. Yeah, a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of highlighter. Oh goodness. Amazing. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I was a little shy doing this stream today. It's different, you know. Sometimes you can't help but get that little kid birthday effect where you're like, what if nobody shows up? But you did, so this is nice. All right, what an improvement. Very good, very good. I would like to give her eyebrows, I think. Maybe not. Well, at the very least, I need to separate her like brow bone from her nose. There we go. And then she'd have more of a wrinkly forehead and a little creepier on the eye here. Bring that. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Going back in with my soft brush and start building up some more of these forms. Let's see if I just mask her face and bump that contrast slider and kind of see where it gets me. Ah, yes. More is more. All right, we kind of have a hag-ish face. That was satisfying. Came together pretty quick. Love that. Kind of want the shirt to be a little bit spindly, barring a nip slip moment, but getting close. I just can't imagine she'd be very fussed with how her clothes fits, you know? Can do a really fun fabric fold in the back with this kind of swooshing. Oh, that's gonna be nice. And then lots of beautiful asymmetrical details and rips and tears. Let's go ahead and start on that. I'm gonna keep the base one identical. And by identical, I just mean symmetrical. And I'm gonna duplicate this, inflate it just a touch. And now what I can do from this is I can start grabbing sections and deleting them. See? And we can start getting that really cool layered, tattered effect. All right, can duplicate this, undo a few times, and it should bring me back to the not messed up version. There we go. And then I can rinse and repeat. And what's nice about this is that's already kind of fit to her body because I'm grabbing it from that initial piece. I love working like this, just kind of reusing subtools over and over again because it's quick and it's easy. Very satisfying. That's looking quite nice. And then maybe I will delete a few sections here from this main piece too. Don't want to be too perfect. There we are. But I don't want to show her feet either, because if I show her feet, I have to sculpt her feet. And you guys know how I feel about that. All right. Well, we're on a pretty good start for 35 minutes. Reaper says, Mia, can I tell everyone the good news concerning the mods? Oh yeah, of course. Sure. I'm glad that you're excited about it. At first I was like, are you excited about your crumb? Good. Amazing. Empress says, since y'all have been learning painting, another art skill to learn, what are y'all's favorite brands to paint? Hashtag not sponsored. I use Army Painter. We're getting food rations. They are. And they don't even have to like fight for it. It just, they get bare minimum pay now, no matter what. It's small, but that's what's actually happening. Yeah. Alrighty. Amazing. This is not just Lingual, this is his evil twin Kai. Kai the spy. Yes, I love that. Very good. Oh, speaking of painting, you guys have a few more days to submit in the painting competition. There are details on a post on Patreon, and you're already here. So if you need details about that, open up that post tab, go grab it. Anything from Brew to Beast is eligible. And if you're like, but Mia, I don't have a 3D printer, or mine is being the worst. Click on the shop. That's on my website. So go to the vault first and then the shop. I sell little like loot boxes every month. And if you want, I can just put Brew to Beast mystery minis in there. Good stuff, good stuff. Ridiculous comments. I love you guys. Yeah, I hope the buffering doesn't get too annoying for y'all, but if it doesn't, I mean, I think this might be our new home. I want a weird piece of clothing here. Again, I just really can't see her being very fashion forward. Could you? So I'm thinking about maybe the remnant of a shirt right here. It's completely tattered underneath. Oh, why does her body have like holes? All right, we'll deal with that later. Anyway, so just like the top section of it, and I'll wrap around her neck like a weird scarf. How about I just show you instead of really poorly explaining it? This, like this. I just think that would be cool. And then I can also have some cool tatters in this. I get asked all the time, like, how do you sculpt ripped up fabric? And the answer is just to make sure that the edges are pulled and moved around. That goes so far. You can do better by taking your mask pen brush and masking sections and deleting them. Bam, now you have a little hole in that mesh. This works best, really only works at all, if you're working at 0 thickness, and you can add thickness later using dynamic subdiv. Be careful though, because you know, we live in the land of 3D printing, and if you tatter it too much, you get a really fragile mesh, and then nobody wins, you know? All right, let's put a big hole right here. Yeah, like I feel like this doesn't really make sense, and I like that, you know? I feel like she would just put things on. She'd be like, oh, I'm a little cold today. Throws on a scrap of fabric until it disintegrates off of her. Hello, Kurt. Welcome, welcome. Kurt says, hi, Mia. I've been a fan for a while now. Oh, I know. You've been great. You've been great. And it's been really great watching your sculpting get better and better. Okay, you've been around long enough to see me improve too. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, your recent requests and stuff, they've been so much fun. You have been a hoot. I remember when I posted the Donut Duty City Guard, you mentioned like, oh, how did you steal my proportions or my measurements? I don't know. Ricky and I were cracking up over that. But welcome in, welcome in. This feels like a fun school trip for the peasants to a different platform. Hopefully we can pick up some new peasants to join us. Yes, I guess I will call you guys peasants still. I just, on my YouTube streams, I call my viewers peasants, but now I'm on Patreon and I don't want to shock anyone by being, maybe I'll just mumble it so they don't know if I'm saying patrons or peasants. That'd be a really big mumble, wouldn't it? Oh, goodness. Let's get some wraps on her arm. To do that, I'm going to duplicate the body, delete lower subdivision levels, and then grab Curve Strap Snap. This is a default brush in ZBrush. You can drag a little shape. I deleted your subdiv. Stop it. All right, you can drag a little shape and hold Shift, and it should snap to the mesh. I say that because ZBrush has a love-hate relationship with its curve brushes. Sometimes it's a good time, but a lot of the time it doesn't feel like it. So all you have to do is just be patient and try it a few times. If you don't get a good result, I find it's best just to clear it and do it again entirely instead of trying to like mess with the shape. Like right here, I didn't want to wrap around the arm all the way, which is fine. All right, now that we have this, I can delete what is, God, this is like a horror stream, isn't it? Anyway, I can delete what I don't need and mask just those wrappings and delete hidden. What's really cool is they're all different pieces. If I grab a special brush here, it will only grab one mesh at a time. Because again, each little wrapping is a different piece, I can do this really quickly instead of having to mask every time. All right, we're getting some asymmetrical goodness in here. I'm still undecided about this hairstyle and the way I'm going to do a cage. At the very least, I love this idea. Oh, it's so cool. And just putting all kinds of oddities and ends. Having a poor little caged animal there, it's a pretty awesome idea. I don't think I say it enough, but thank you guys, not just for supporting me on Patreon, but you contribute, you know, with your ideas and your requests. It's just so much fun for me. And I love that I haven't had any problems with people thinking that they're commissions. Like, you guys understand that I want to do the art thing too and add my own flair and design choices. And yeah, people have just been great about it. I was a little worried about that when I first started doing requests. I'm like, oh, I hope they don't think it's a straight up commission. And it was a little intimidating at first because many people request their D&D characters. So obviously they know what their character looks like. So I don't want to take too many artistic liberties on someone's baby, you know? I had one person who I completely changed the design more than I intended to. I kept like the race, the class, that kind of stuff. And they liked my changes so much, they actually tweaked their own character, which I was honored by. Oh gosh, hello, what are you posting? What is this scary gif? Hey, we're working on it. We're working on it. That's scary. Let's go away. Awesome, awesome. Kai says, you can always take artistic liberty on mine. I just like seeing cool ideas become real. Same, same. All right, I don't want to tatter up her little shirt too much. We're getting into risky territory. All right, we need to add like belts, pouches. What are some things you guys would like to see sticking out of the pouches? Maybe some fingers, a bone. Tell me your ideas. I want to know. I'm gonna throw a belt on this belly. Please be a good belt. Come on, ZBrush, be nice to me. Fine. I will just Dynamesh this into a blob. Haha, that tends to work quite well. I've picked up a trick or 20 over the years. I started doing this in 2019, so what is it, seven years? I need to give myself a break for 2D drawing then. I've been like putting myself in like art boot camp to learn how to draw with like a pencil. You would think because I'm a 3D artist, I would be able to pick up 2D quite easily. You would be wrong. I have to do everything still. I have to learn all of it, which has been very humbling. And if you hear that and you're like, well, obviously, I was surprised. Okay. I wasn't expecting to have to try quite so hard. It's become my own Elden Ring, Souls-like, rogue-like experience all in one. And I'm finally starting to have fun with it, I think, as opposed to just being annoyed that I'm so bad at it. Everyone has things that they're kind of more naturally inclined to be better at or not. But I like to think of 3D art versus 2D art like musical instruments. To me, 3D art is like a piano, which is what I'm good at. I can play piano. Anyway, anyone can walk up to a piano and press a key and it will sound like something, right? 2D art is like violin. Have you guys tried to play violin ever? You gotta like pinch it under your chin just right. And then when you lay the bow on a string, if you're not holding that string right or in the right place or having your bow at the right angle, it screams. It makes this horrible, horrible screeching sound. That's what 2D art feels like to me. It once you can, you know, have like the fundamentals down, like you have good line quality, things start looking up. But it's very humbling in the beginning where you're like, I can't even like draw, like sketch a circle. It's just potatoes all the way down. But as a result, in some ways, it's a lot more rewarding. I don't know. Again, I've mentioned it many times before on stream, but I find like 2D art to be a lot sexier, for lack of a better word. Like this sketching process. It's like, oh, people are like, oh, I have bad sketches too. I'm like, no. It doesn't look like a 3D sketch. Like you guys saw where we started. Look at this. Versus what we have now, it's already looking quite good, but I don't know. Those are just, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Those are my feelings about 2D art versus 3D art. And for anyone who's wondering, because I get asked this all the time, do I need to learn how to draw to be able to do 3D art? And as you probably can guess, the answer is no. You do not have to. I didn't. Kai says, I was a concert violinist. Oh, cool. And the best sound for the audience actually should sound less good to the violinist if you're pinching right and applying the right pressure. That is poetic. Ha, how interesting. Reaver. No, I just got an engineering degree. I did. And speaking of, I've been trying to learn how to draw in perspective with drawings, like drawing like a cube, but in perspective. So all the lines converge at vanishing points. And this is very difficult for me because in school, when I was getting my engineering degree, I did a lot of orthographic projections, which just is a fancy way to say no perspective. Everything is exactly flat because that's how you want your reference drawings to be. If you're going to like send it to a manufacturer, you don't need it in perspective. You want it to be as precise and parallel as possible. Everything is a true right angle, that kind of thing. And it has made it excessively difficult, guys, for me to draw in perspective. I'm having to unlearn a lot, and it's making it even slower. But that's okay. We all come to the table with our different propensities and problems. I just wasn't expecting that to be such a downfall for me. All right, I'm really liking all these layers and gnarliness. This is good. I did not get an Amazon engineering degree. It was real. And then Kai says, ha, sucker, engineering. Kai also just graduated with, anyway. Beautiful. What a good time. I feel so lucky to be able to just have this audience. Like I get to go to work and sit down and do what I love and chat with people, I really can't stress enough how much fun that is. Because art tends to be a much more like solitary endeavor, which don't get me wrong, I love me some solitary endeavor. I really like spending a lot of time by myself. And I really like quiet. But that being said, I've become a lot more social in the last few years and really come to enjoy it. Especially the more like I have you guys contributing to the piece. I feel like it almost always makes it better. All right, we're starting to get some fun forms in here. Okay, I connected the wrong spot. Your elbow kind of wraps around. There's this thing here. It wraps to your pinky. Oh, I went the wrong way. I'm gonna keep it just because it looks good still, even though it is wrong. And we're gonna remove some material here. All right, his arms are looking better. It's like, ah, Mia, you're making her kind of buff. Yeah, I kind of am. All the better to strangle with, you know? Damn, the hag is buff. I knew you'd say that. Amazing. And then Reaper says, yeah, perspective is tricky. Like, the most I do is lay out a grid, draw what I want to draw, and then flip the canvas until it looks good, and then call it. Hey, that's still a really correct way to do that, like just drawing a perspective grid. It's so difficult. I have so much respect. You guys know that meme of that cute little black boy sitting for picture day, just like, happy for you meme? That's how I felt when I went into our Discord and I saw Reaper posted a picture. Here, I'll find it. It's so impressive. Anytime to share Reaper art is a good day. She did this freaking turnaround of a head, and it's beautiful. Here it is. Look at this. And that was the day, like day 4 or 5 of me of just trying to draw cubes. In perspective, much less an entire human head. It's so beautiful. But straight up, I saw that and I was like, happy for you. That's nice. I left a much nicer comment than that, but that was my initial reaction. Good job. Yeah, Empress agrees. I think most hags are pretty meted out. How else are they supposed to strangle? There's a Little Red Riding Hood joke here of like, oh, all the better to strangle you with or hug you with. Hey, not Doc Martin's here. Hello, hello. Cauldron Holland biceps. Whew. Say that 5 times fast. Cauldron Holland. Cauldron Holland. I love that. Empress asks, are you doing the 250 boxes challenge? I'm afraid to even ask what that is because I'll probably be like, ooh, that sounds like it'd be good for me. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna go with no. I'm already boxed out. No, I'm not. It's all part of the process. Oh, goodness. Nah, Doc Martin has supported my art forever and has some of the best requests, too. I always love seeing your name pop up. And this is why I'm excited to stream on Patreon instead of YouTube. There's no ads, and I know a lot of y'all, so that's fun. I'm pretty good with names. Like, I thought it was sweet that when Kurt jumped in, he was like, oh, like, I supported your work for a while. And I'm like, I know you. I know. I guess it's good to not just assume that people know you. That's a more humble take. A lot of my jobs in college required me to be really good at names and stuff. I mean, I guess it wasn't necessarily my job, but so I worked as an RA. I was a residential advisor, which means I was a babysitter for college students. But seriously, like, a lot of these people had never, you know, been away from home for that long, and some of them were out of state. And I noticed that, like, I always had freshman girls too, and I always noticed that if I remembered their name, they would just light up. So I would make like note cards. It's kind of creepy. I guess it sounds creepy, but it was sweet. And like once I got my name list, I'd have their IDs. And I would make note cards to remember everyone's name. I'm laughing because it just sounds extremely. Doesn't that sound kind of creepy of me sitting there like in my room, like whatever? It was a wholesome intent. What a weird segue to be like, I'm good at names. Cue someone coming in and me not remembering who they are. Okay. Now, Doc Martin says, I was an AA. No kidding, in my dorm, which was like hallway laundry enforcement and fire safety. Yeah, so we called you a PSA at my place. Something security professional securities. Whatever. I know what you did. And I always thought you guys had the better job than me in some ways because you didn't get the drama. People will get real mad at me. That's true. There's also that. I mean, people are probably more angry at me if I enforced the rules better. There were certain rules I pretty much never enforced. One of my favorites being toasters. You could not have a toaster. This is very serious business. Our dorms were made of cinder block. I'm not kidding. So I'm like, I understand the concern. Anyway. Kai was an RD. No kidding. That would be my boss's boss. So there's a resident advisor, which is me, RA, and then there's an ARD, assistant resident director, and then the RD. RDs have to be usually have to be pursuing a graduate degree to be. Do you have a graduate degree too, like post bachelor's? That doesn't check out for your age. It does if you're kind of a genius, which you've joked about. Connecting dots. Oh, okay, the RD is more like your ARD. Gotcha. That makes more sense. Okay, the amount of people here that worked in their dorms is kind of hysterical. Wow, how funny. Not a Doc Martin says, I have a master's, but I'm not a doctor. Hence the name. That is so funny. That is great. Well, if I ever see it saying Doc Martin instead of not Doc Martin, I'm definitely going to message you and make a big deal about that because that's crazy cool. Do you have any plans to pursue your PhD? Not that I think that you need to. I remember at the end of my bachelor's, I had just being a woman in engineering, you stand out. And I had a few of my professors talk to me, and they talked to me about going to grad school. Not like, oh, are you interested? They were like, great, okay, so your GRE, I can't remember. That's on this date, and they were just like going through the rundown with me, and I was like, no, I am so out. Many of you guys know this, but though smart and good at school, bad student, very bad student, very horrible attitude. I have an absolutely terrible attitude when it comes to learning. Just a little unprompted self-roast here, but it's true. It's so true. Gosh, she is really buff and weird. I kind of like it, though. Yeah, nah, Doc Martin says, absolutely not. I'm out. I get it. Oh, man. Money would be good. Yeah, you're gonna get that adult money, huh? Big kid money. I'm rooting for you. Alright, what am I doing next? I'm kind of just clicking on stuff and not deciding. I made really fast progress in the first 30 minutes, and then I kind of was like, cool, it looks like something. I'll take a break. One thing that I'm a little sad about is I can't do polls anymore, I guess. Or no, it's like real time, so I could. Ember says, my manager needs to see me in her office. Dog needs a walk, so be right back. Sounds good. For a second, I thought you were walking like your manager's dog, and then I realized, no, your dog is your manager. I understand. Oh, that's great. Reaper said, I found I'd thrive in the beginning of the course, and then I just grow bored as the weeks wore on until I just struggle to get anything done or find anything interesting. That is fair. That's why I like self-guided. I pretty much never went to class because it would just drive me nuts. I would follow the syllabus though and then just do it on my own time. And then when I inevitably hit a wall, I would go into office hours. But yeah, that did much better for me. Gosh, this is so fun. I like this. I like this experience. This is good. What should I work on next? Do you guys have a preference? Do you want to see me design this hairstyle, or do you want to see me detail the fabric? The detailing the fabric is much easier, but I'm leaving it up to you guys. Are we doing hair, or are we doing clothing detail right now? See, I like this because I can ask these questions and not have to wait a minute to see if anybody answered. Because I get a lot of times you guys don't have a preference. You're just like, go do the art thing. I don't care. But if you have a preference, let me know. Gosh, that mug is way too heavy to hold with one hand. Okay. Oh yeah, go on vacation, Kai. That'd be fantastic. Oh, I'd be so excited for you too. My wife deserved vacation after so many years. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people go into it for research, and then the course is just a side effect. I mean, I know a lot of professors that are like that too. Okay, nobody had strong feelings on it, so I'm gonna do the clothing detail because it's way easier. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm going to do is add some thickness. Click apply. And then I'm going to just subdivide it and let it kind of round off. I don't do this when I want crisp things though. I'm going to grab my slash brush and use this to get some big fabric folds in. Oh, speaking of, we can dovetail this into reviewing Empress's work. All right, awesome. So this is one of my students. If you're interested in learning how to sculpt, that is a thing I offer. It's $1 a day, 30 bucks a month on my other Patreon. If you want to know, I'll put a link in the chat. Okay, folds. I love these kind of fashion explorations because you can build any kind of character from them. Couldn't find anything Overwatch related that really gave me the same oomph, so here's my attempt. Very good. This is way better than your first. This is really, really quite impressive. I'm so proud of you. Oh, that's right. Empress went on to walk her dog. Why'd I do this? I forgot. And there's no rewinding here. Damn it. Let me know when Empress is back. But anyway, I'll show you guys how to make this look even better. It's already quite nice, but the big thing here that's missing is more of the actual like folding over of the fabric. We just have the extrusion up, but not the fold. So I'm gonna show you guys that really quick right now. So what I like to do is kind of mark out where I want these big folds to be with the slash brush. Be careful when you get to the center line, otherwise you get some weirdness. There we go. And then once I have those here, I can build up some oomph with the standard brush. Really mark the intensity higher than you would expect. It does help if you know roughly what kind of folds that you're doing, but it's not the end of the world if you don't know the fancy name of the fold. But you must know, like, is this draping? Is this compressed? Is this being stretched? That kind of thing. There we go. And as much as you're adding material here, you should also be taking it away. That's a really important part. So right here, if I add material to this edge, I can kind of get it to fold over on itself a little bit. Looks kind of a little lumpy, a little chaotic, which is perfect for our hag. And then last but not least, I love adding some surface noise. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my leather brush. And it's just gonna be like heavy wrinkles. This is pretty dented looking. It doesn't even look like leather because I'm putting it on so heavy. But again, because we're going for like this distressed, dirty hag cloak thing, it's perfect. Otaka says, I generally just suck at learning. Oh, I doubt that. Oh my goodness. Unless, if you have a good attitude, that's 90% of it. And I feel like, I can't imagine you having a bad attitude. I have a horrendous attitude when it comes to learning. That's why I do best learning by myself. All right. That's a good first layer there. And now let's add more. Very good, that's plenty thick enough. Subdivide a few times to kind of round that off. Excellent. All right, so this is gonna kind of like cinch up on her hip. I think the fancy name for it is diaper fold, which I hate that. But that is the fancy name for it. Add lazy mouse, back face mask. I can kind of grab these here. Again, so there's 2 points where it's pinching, right? So if I hold fabric in one hand here, like pinched up, it's gonna droop in the middle, unless you pull it tight. Yeah. That is a terrible name, not man. There we go. Otaka says, I'm a real-life sorcerer. I can do a lot of things just like that and then get pretty steep learning curve until I hit slightly above average and it just stops. Yes. That also sounds suspiciously like the Dunning-Kruger effect, but like I... That's great. All right, we have these kind of cinched up here, and then we can do some drop folds or pipe folds. They're pretty similar. Kind of radiating away from that. I did it pretty symmetrically. You want to avoid that. It's so natural to just put symmetrical details on things, but things in nature are rarely perfectly evenly spaced apart. There we go. Excellent. What are you guys working on right now? I know a lot of y'all are creative or just have me on while you're at work. I'm very, very curious to know what everyone's up to right now. More often than not, it tends to be a little bit of like a art party, which I think is fun. I have people that join my streams and pretty much always just start working on their own personal projects, which I think is really cool. That fabric fold looks terrible. There we go. Reaper is modeling. What you modeling? Dinos. Kai says, I perform really high. I earn a lot of academic distinctions, but I'm in the valley of the Dunning-Kruger effect, which everything is depressing. Same. Doc Martin says, currently eating lunch, but soon to be working again. Very nice. I also have a pretty good lunch break crowd too. Oh, I need to post that on YouTube too. We have a art teacher, a high school art teacher, I think, Sean Abel. He usually joins in for lunch. He doesn't even know that we're here right now. I always get stressed because every now and then Sean will put on my streams for his class and I swear a lot. And I'm like, stop it, Nia. But the more I think about not swearing, I don't know. I don't do it in like my day-to-day life. I mean, yes, I do. I mean, like, I can turn it off. When I'm by myself in a room, I just have a hard time conceptualizing you guys as real people. That was a weird thing to say. You know what I mean. I know you're real people. Kai says, my vacation starts today, so I'm packing, fixing my car, and doing a ton of art this week. Hell yeah, that sounds great. Reaper, we are figments of your imagination. It feels like that sometimes. Kai says, currently I'm working on a main character in the courier, like male people, I can't say the word, quest project. An awakened fox with origami-inspired innate magic. Oh, how fun! So does he like fold up the mail and like send it away? Cute, cute. Otaka says, I'm not saying I'm super good at stuff. I'd be the best basketball player in my sports class, where no one is in the club, but one of the worst in the club. That's what I mean. With slightly above average. I get what you mean. I use you as a springboard for a joke. I do hear what you're saying though. Like you pick up quickly, but not enough to like surpass that above average or slightly above average. A little good at everything. Jack of all trades. But not enough to like be a party trick necessarily. Subdivide. There we go. Nifty says, I always figure out the sculpt by itself, but I would like to draw my ideas on paper first, so relearning drawing now. Drawing goblins. Oh, how fun! I would love if you shared some of that. Very, very cool. Yeah, I am training for drawing, so goblins. Nice, nice. What a fun thing to draw too, because there's a lot of fun proportions that you can push, but you don't have to fall into like the despair that is trying to make something pretty or cute. If you want to learn how to draw, I really encourage y'all to stay away from pretty or cute things. And I know that's difficult because my entire motivation for learning how to draw is so I can draw hot people. That's it. It's partly why I'm enjoying playing Hades 2 so much, because they're all gods and they're all very aesthetic. That game is so good. The character design is just fabulous. Almost done with our kind of blankets of detail here. This one kind of stuck off the character more than I meant to. I actually had my offset on the wrong side on accident. Very easy to fix though. We'll just scooch it in. There we go. Amazing. Is that her butt sticking out? It is. Let's put that away. Excellent. Nifty says, I shall! Well, my approach this time is to do project-based. Focus on ideas instead of drawing random boxes for 3 hours. It killed my motivation last time. Yeah, I have to do a mixture of things for sure. I can't just do boxes. It is a bit soul-crushing. But I'm also very excited when I see any progress. So currently the boxes is going okay because I struggled with it so much the first few days that seeing any improvement was like really, really exciting. But that's going to wear off pretty soon. You too will probably see me switch to something that's a little more balanced. So this project of goblins, are you making like a whole set of goblins? Do they have like their own little story and lore? Or is it just kind of like, I do a goblin every day? Hello, Empress. Oh, she's doing fabric now. Yeah, the second you left Empress, I was like, oh, I'm going to review Empress's assignment. I'm totally serious. And I was like, wow, how am I doing that? So I stopped. But now you're here, so we can talk about it. All right. Fantastic. Seriously, I am so, so proud of you. I saw this and just big smile on my face because you've improved so much. I also love that you correctly labeled all the different kinds of folds. Don't you hate that these are called diaper folds? They're my favorite kind of fold, and what a horrible name for them. Anyway, very, very good. The biggest thing that you're missing here, and I'm going to try to teach you from more of just like a realism standpoint, and you can stylize as you wish. You're missing the fold. You have added a bunch of volume right here, which is great. And right here, you're starting to, this one especially probably looks the best because you're starting to get that fold. That makes sense? So, I do this too. I hope you didn't pick up this bad habit from me. If you did, it's okay. Take it a step further. Once you've laid in your fold areas, either with a slash brush or standard brush, take your mask. Make sure you didn't mask through the back because otherwise it won't work. There, get rid of that. You can probably do that, that's fine. Anyway, take a mask with the lasso brush, grab your transpose line, which is clicking Y, we'll toggle it back and forth. Click at the very top, and then drag straight down to the bottom. Make sure it's laying on that fabric. Then click R on your keyboard for rotate. Grab the innermost middle white circle and drag straight down. And you'll start to get this bending effect. This is not the best piece to try this on to show you. But you will see, I'm gonna mask the back of that because I think we're getting some tearing. Anyway, you'll see that you're able to rotate this fabric on top of itself and really get a convincing bend. See that? That looks way better than that. So we went from this to this. We are getting a little bit more of that distortion. You're gonna wanna do some like nice sculpting on that. And you don't have to use the masking and transpose line technique to do this. If you want to do it manually, that's totally fine. Just really make sure that your fabric folds are, in fact, breaking a plane, you know, as opposed to just extruding straight up. You want to make sure you're getting that X and Y break as well. Does that make sense? Let me know. Yay, roast time. No, I'm being nice to you. I'm really excited about using Patreon to review student work because you guys can respond in real time and I can actually get back to you instead of it taking a minute in between. Anyway, that's going to take your fold game to the next level pretty quickly. Something else you can do to kind of create that effect is simply adding material on this edge here. So I'm going to grab my lazy radius, crank up the intensity. My mesh is a little stretched out, so I'll subdivide once. And I'll add this here. I like to do is be really careful and then click number 1 on my keyboard and it'll repeat that stroke. So see the before and the after. You're really starting to get that plane change. Yeah. So here's this versus this. And I'll do it a few times here because this actually improves my folds as well. Another reason why I love teaching. Just be careful of where that plane is breaking over. There we go. And again, I find putting one, kind of like a sketch of where that fold's gonna be, and then number 1 on your keyboard to repeat it, to really get some extra oomph. And if you don't like the extra oomph, you can just undo it. I've been using the slash brush to start these folds to kind of not cheat, it's not cheating, to use a tool to help me get a crisper fold from the beginning. Yeah, see how like this one on the right already has more oomph, especially at the top here, because that's kind of the angle you can see that best at. Just think plane change. Think of like touching it with your hands and what that would really feel like. It's funny you mentioned accentuating the fold by adding more material. I thought that looked too crisp. Lol, that's so funny because it makes it look more realistic. That's great. Oh gosh. Nifty says, oh no, you're okay. Long text is great. I've been modeling for some time now, but I've been doing random sculpts, not knowing what direction to go in. I would like to work in this field. Now you've persuaded me to try and go into minis. Oh, really? So thanks now, why goblins? Because they're the first minis I painted as a kid when I was young. So I thought, let's start from the beginning. That is fabulous. Oh, I'm so honored to have inspired you in literally any way. I think you're gonna do great. Huzzah. There's plenty of room at the table. I think sculpting minis is just such a fun way to get into it. Like a focused big project, and then you're always building this body of work that literally plays well together. It's very rewarding. How awesome. I'm just kind of smiling quietly to myself because when Empress came back to my mentorship program to learn how to sculpt minis and eventually sell them, I had her make a mood board, like an inspiration board. And I was on it, and I was so honored by that. And you might be thinking, maybe she's being a suck up to her teacher. Maybe, but it worked. And I thought about it all day. I still am. Oh, I cleared my little art hangout. That's okay. Let's bring my little encounter back. So yeah, she's gonna fit into this piece, and I really think she's gonna just fit so well into this aesthetic. It's gonna be great. Throw that down there. There we go. Awesome. And we'll have a new work in progress point to reference here. Excellent, excellent. Oh, this is coming along so well. Do you guys have any fun pose ideas? I imagine just like general creepiness. Just like she's, you know, shoulders up, doing the arm thing. I don't really have a plan of, maybe I can have her kind of like laughing, you know? We'll see. Emperor says, minis cosplay statue sculpting is so underrated. Everything is tailored to games and game asset creation. This is true. This is very true. But technically, doing the mini sculpting, and it's like the first step to asset creation anyway. So if you decide you want to do that later, I mean, you're already prepped. Now you just need to learn how to actually, you know, process your sculpts to be game ready, which obviously is a lot of work, but this very much so serves as a nice intermediate step. People have asked me before if I have any experience in that, and the answer is kind of. If you've ever used Titancraft, which is a lot like Hero Forge, or no, Titanforge. How do I not know the name of this company that I worked for? That's insane. Titanforge. Nope, that's the brand. That's a different thing. It is Titancraft. Here, I'll put a link. You guys should play with this. It's like Hero Forge, but better. I worked there. How do I not know the name? Anyway, I made quite a few of these assets. So it's a similar workflow. You sculpt something and then you process it. So that way, when you're using the builder, it doesn't lag like crazy. Because if you had like the high poly assets there, it would just be a nightmare. So it's actually a very similar workflow. Sounds good, Doc Martin. Thanks for stopping by. Even Kai got it right. Alright, I don't really know what kind of fabric folds I want to do for her bosom. So we'll just kind of do some tension folds swooping to the front. If I have an excuse to do like a drapery-like fold, then that's what we're doing. Excellent. Excellent. We're going to start in on that hair pretty soon here. As I get toward the back of my models, there tends to be much more chaotic folds because it's just not the focal point of the model, as funny as that sounds. Kai says the local game shop here in Tucson has a PC dedicated making Titancraft characters. How cool. So I was bragging to my family that my sculpting teacher made most of the assets. Definitely not most, but I did reskin a lot of old ones. There's a few packs that I did entirely. Like anything that has to do with like the round table knights and like the medieval stuff, that was me. So many, practically all of them. I mean, honestly, at this point, I guess I don't even know. It depends how many new assets they put in. Emperor says, you know, it'd be kind of cool to be the sculptor at a local game shop. Funny you guys mentioned that because I might be selling my minis physically in a shop down the street from me. We'll see. We need to stop by and do that, Ricky. All right, we are going to build up this hairstyle. I'm going to use my build up brush and literally just sculpt this hair up. Not like that. There we go. There we are. Again, always thinking plane change, plane change. It's not just for fabric, it's literally everything. It will just make you a better sculptor. What is the plane change? Is it round? Is it soft? Is it sharp? Think of it like controlling your edges in a 2D drawing. Very good. It's gonna be very important for me to merge the beehive aspect of it with the main part of the hair, probably now, so I can start weaving those together. Excellent. Oh, this is a fun, weird hairstyle. Y'all know I love me some fun and weird. You know something I'm really looking forward to streaming on Patreon? At the end, I'm not going to get an analytics screen shoved in my face. It just, I understand why YouTube does it because it's numbers are important. I don't know. But it kind of feels bad sometimes where like, I feel like I had a great stream and it's like 30% reduction in viewers. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to stream and have a good time. But if you're getting constantly graded with, you know, numbers, it can be really tiring over the long run, you know? I think you guys know this, but my number is, it changes, but right now it's like 5. If I have 5 viewers, to me, that's a party. That would be really too many people in this room. I just visualize them, you know? Sometimes it's even less than that. Sometimes I don't think I could really just talk to the ether and be happy. Coming in with that slash brush, and boy, does that do a lot of fantastic heavy lifting. I love the slash brush. It's my friend. I've kind of forgotten about Sculptress Pro. I've just kind of taken my chaotic new way of sculpting. I call it chaotic. It's just because I'm pushing my form so much. I haven't really needed to use Sculptress Pro to achieve some of the things I'm doing, which is cool. There we go. And how crazy is that I'm streaming on a Monday. I never do that. Oh, speaking of, on Wednesday, I have like a special like sculpting marathon. If you guys have any ideas of how you want to expand Brew to Beast, leave a comment on that post on Patreon. And you don't have to be a paying member to do that. I'm taking anybody's ideas. All right. Got some good layers on here, and now it's time to add this like crazy cage effect. I do want to add a little bit more oomph to her ears. I love some well sculpted ears. I want to add more oomph to her face as well, but I don't want to get too distracted. There's so many fun things to work on this piece. One thing at a time. I would be satisfied just getting a bit of a better eye shape right now. Putting her eyes a little closer together, I think, would be fitting. Maybe some crow's feet. Plan for how. A lot of laughing, a lot of cackling happening with this character. I don't even know if that's true, or if like you smile a lot or whatever, you get more wrinkles there faster. If so, what a good reason to have wrinkles. This ridiculous mouth. Her teeth are much too nice. I'll go ahead and start kind of wobbling those around. Let's add a much larger nose here, and we're really sorely missing some warts, aren't we? I think having some crookedness to her expression would be really nice too. Perfect. I'm coming over with my clay buildup brush, which is really heavy because I just want to add a lot of fun plane changes here and some like leathery texture to her skin. Be careful doing what I'm doing right now, where I am I am turning symmetry on and off, which is a little odd to do on a face, but I really know what areas I've tread already, so I'm not worried about causing too many weird deformation problems. She looks kind of like fuzzy now, which is a little disturbing, so we will gently smooth some of this away. Perfect. Now she just looks leathery. Very good. Gonna really exaggerate those muscles on her neck. Look at that cute face. A little bit more hollowness on the side of her head. That's just more like a sign of age. I have lost so much fat on my face in the last couple of years. I had like a circle head growing up. I had like really big cheeks, and my face is looking longer and longer because I'm losing fat on my cheeks. Right in time for turning 30. Never had a problem with getting older, but 30 was the first number that I was like, oh man, the number does just keep going up, doesn't it? Luckily, I'm an artist, so I don't have a lot of the concern over wrinkles and stuff. I like things that make faces look distinct and different. And I've always had really pronounced crow's feet and stuff when I smile, even when I was like a little girl, so that's never bothered me. I just have more now. It might look like I'm adding some of this like muscle and volume randomly, but I am not, I assure you. So just be careful when you're adding volume like this and texture at the same time, because if you do too much, you really get this very lumpy, odd looking character. I've done it so many times on accident. Something really cool about the brushes in ZBrush is if you hold down Option, that is Alt on Windows, it will invert the brush. So if your brush normally adds material, it will take it away. So I'm doing that just back and forth, back and forth. It's kind of a little lump on the side of your wrist here where your pinky is. It's a bone or something. The tricep, smooth that down a touch. How much is that visible? Not a lot. I really don't want to detail areas of her skin that you're just not going to see. All right, she does have a pretty open spot on her back, so I can really push that spine in and bring those shoulder blades out. That'd be fun. There we are. Oh, she's looking so cool, guys. Awesome, awesome. And we haven't even added the really fun parts yet. She needs like all these little like odd trinkets and general creepiness, don't you think? I think that'd be good. I don't have anything super specific for what I want to add yet. Ooh, I do know I want those fingernails to be much longer. Big fan of long, creepy fingers. Not just on my hags, but really on all my characters. I just think it is a cool thing. So much more, I don't know, like when they gesture and articulate, it's so much more dramatic. All right, one of my favorite things here is dipping back into my asset library and grabbing little bits and bobs to decorate my current project with. I've compiled these over the years and I've gotten so much use out of them. Like the acorn's kind of a silly thing that I wouldn't mind tucking into her hair. What I'll do is I'll grab any piece I think might somewhat have a use and I'll merge it into one subtool. So you'll see these things that are like in pink right now, it's like kind of dark mesh color, are the things I'm grabbing and adding. That flower might be too pretty, but sometimes in context, it's just right. You definitely need all the little odds and ends and pouches. Maybe a few coins. Just, this is really a character you can kind of throw the whole kitchen sink at. Of my favorites for sure. Do you guys think that she could use the vials, or is that, I don't know, I mean they're not stupid, you know. Hags definitely have the sense of like craft. I don't know, I wonder if like having the little vials on her pouch would be a little too tidy, you know? Unsure. Definitely some feathers, some sticks. I have a bird skull in here that I think would be nice. I might even put a raven on her shoulder or a rat. Oh, I love the idea of a rat. Even the snake head, the human head. I know I'm grabbing a lot right now. I'd rather have a bunch and then tone it down than the other way. Oh my goodness, I've grabbed so many things. I'm definitely not going to add a book. I don't think the book would be up her alley. The horns, absolutely. The bird skull. I've decided no on the rat because then I have to pose the rat, and I don't want to do that. All right, I have a bunch of odd things I have grabbed. Let's decorate and see what we think. Here she is. Going to pin that pile of random nonsense. Let's make it much smaller, kind of bring it close together. Let's go shopping. I'm gonna kind of move these a little closer together so I can make them all larger. There we are. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I'm undecided on the potions still. But the acorn, I think, is just really funny and cute. And I really went way more detail in this acorn than I ever had any business when I first made it, so it makes me happy to get some more use out of it. Putting a beehive in a beehive styled hairdo is probably a bit on the nose, but I do like it. Maybe she'd be like a swarm master. I think it'd be kind of cool to have a hag that could like summon a bunch of bees. Would be really, really annoying and cool. Gosh, that'd be so gross to have a literal beehive in my hair. Ugh, could never. I have even more like leathers and layers I can add. Big fan. Let's go ahead and take that, duplicate, mirror, and then tuck another one here. I kind of imagine these almost to be like the equivalent of a bartender who is always like polishing mugs and stuff, but instead she'd have these like hides. Excellent. Here's some sticks and branches and feathers. I'm just gonna kind of stick these in her hair and kind of see how they'll look. Oh yeah, that can work. I need to make the branch here, like this like holly branch, pretty large to work. Otherwise it'd be really fragile and spindly. So if I can do a good job incorporating that, I will. But if it feels like I have to force it, nah, I'll put something else there. Add some more clusters. I liked alternating between like even and odd clusters. This gives me a lot of 2s and 3s. Excellent. All of these just make the silhouette so much more interesting. There we go. Let me make sure I'm adding some stuff on the back. It's not as important, but I definitely don't want to be like perfectly smooth in the back, you know what I mean? Oh, my chat wasn't scrolling. Bye, Otaka. And then Kai says, it doesn't have to be babies, right? Something small and brood-y. Oh yeah, you can absolutely also request like terrain, stuff like that. Do I also sell print separately somewhere? I have a, like physical prints, it's just in my shop. I have a collector's crate. Oh, that's right, Empress. On that note, Mia, am I to try folding again or should I await new orders? I'm going to challenge you to do that. You can take that same sculpt that you have and just push it. Just push it, try to practice moving that fabric fold over on itself. You can do a brand new sculpt if you want to, but you don't have to. I think 40 will definitely be worse than 30. Oh no. I thought you said no more bees after your trauma. Yes, chef. Sounds good. Let's say I want a single model STL. Oh, yeah. Go to My Mini Factory. My Mini Factory M3DM. I have all my individuals there. Already on it while I was waiting. Oh, that's fantastic. You're great, Empress. But yes, there's always an option to pick up an individual STL of mine on My Mini Factory. We've been a little out of date with the brand new stuff, but we recently put a bunch back on or onto the store for the first time. Patreon's always gonna be your best bet to get stuff for the best bang for buck. By a lot. It's just such a good value, I can't help but push it. I do have My Mini Factory, you are correct. Imagine if she had a website. Okay, listen. Having my models listed individually for sale on my website when there's over 1,200 of them, it's not happening. Happy to host the vault though. I think every mini is $4 on My Mini Factory or $3. Yeah. I also recently rebooted my tribes on My Mini Factory, so if you just want the monthly spotlight pack and a 50% off coupon for my whole store, you could do that instead. It's still not as good of a deal as Patreon, but different strokes, different folks. Sounds good. Empress says, random business talk, but how do you weigh the individual price of a model anyway? They're all the same. Every single model, $3. I don't fuck with that. It's too annoying to have to individually price every single little thing, and I'm not really in the business of individual model sales, but rather everything for $15. But you absolutely could do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a little insane that I do it the way that I do. I just find it so much easier. So it's like my dragons, I guess, are comparatively a very good deal then. But sometimes really elaborate looking models weren't that much work for me, you know? That's so true. Kai says, people are cheap anyway. It's either a cheap model or then buy the pack. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, we are looking good. We're looking good. But if you want me to answer your question, Empress, and you're like, okay, I get that you're a heathen, but if I wanted to price my stuff individually, how would I do that? I can't answer that question. You asked how do I specifically do it, and the answer was a chaotic I don't. So I only know of like 1 or 2 other creators that offer their whole backlog like I do. So it's kind of a weird business model to start with. Yeah, in the event you weren't a goblin, though. In the event I wasn't a goblin, I would break it up into monsters and characters. If you have a model that's excessively detailed and fantastic, add $1 on top of it. But have a flat rate price for all individual humanoids, probably like $2 each. Monsters, I probably charge $1 more. If it's a generic animal, $2. If it's something epic like a dragon, $5. And then I'd have that. So I'd have like 2, 3, and 5 would be my default prices, and I would just throw them into one of those buckets. I would still prioritize packs, though. I might make the argument that it's not even worth offering your models individually. Instead, just have them in packs. But that's getting a little silly. Paint's here, hello! Finally able to watch. I know we've been paintless. Reaper said, you could put your mods to work on the store for you. That's true. That's a good point. Wizard's here. I can't see. I don't know. I'm sorry, Wizard. Do some magic. Paint, please don't. I don't have moderation here. Please be behaved. Bad paint. And yeah, there's like no lag here, which is crazy. Poor Wizard. I do want to help you. The lack of lag is getting me. Yeah, it's been freaking people out. But to me, it's the same. I'm not used to it on your side. Nifty, be naughty, say it. I hear no mods. Please don't. Because I can't do cute timeouts. I think I can only just... Oh no, I can mute and I can remove from live. Okay, I do have power. Okay. In that case, tread as you might, but I don't know if I can bring you back after I get rid of you. If there's anyone new-ish here, this is an ongoing joke with my YouTube viewers. They are just a problem, but I do love them. It's all in joke. Oh, we saw a little bit of a flicker there on my side. Sorry. There we go. The only downside of having the lack of not having any latency is that if there's the smallest bump in my internet, you guys might see a little stutter. Overall, I think it's worth it because I don't think anyone's watching the stream like that glued intensely. You know, it's kind of like I'm just hanging out in the background with y'all. So. All right, we shall continue to add fun bits and baubles. The peasants are free range. Oh, I appreciate the classic fake swearing. Amazing. You're all just peasants here, it's true. I don't think I can assign moderators, unfortunately. I can look at it though, I'm sure they'll add it at some point. Why are we on Patreon today, not YouTube? I want to try Patreon out. This is where, you know, the people that make my dreams a reality are here. This is where people give me money every month. You know, like the fact that I have a consistent paycheck as an artist is incredible. So I'm like, why wouldn't I stream on that platform then? It's because Patreon didn't have live streaming until very recently. And then YouTube is kind of getting ridiculous with the ads too. So, and I don't like that I don't have control over that. So, no, Aloha. Amazing. Yeah, no ads. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because not everyone has an ad blocker, so I get it. Kai says, I definitely see Patreon being much better for Q&A and reviews. The more relaxed streams can be better for YouTube people. They listen at work and then go back to listen. I will have the VOD. I don't know if I can have it published on Patreon, but I will have the library of recorded streams still. Empress, except for her amazing website. Speaking of something really cool that Patreon has finally added, I'm so excited about this, guys, you have no idea. If you go to the top of my page and you're not logged in, oh my goodness, how do I do this like I'm not logged in? View page. Anyway, at the very, very top, yeah, check it out. It says The Vault on my Patreon page. That's crazy. So if you click on that, it takes you straight to The Vault with all of my stuff, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, there it is. Just in case you're so new here and you don't even know, like, you should know who I am if you're on Patreon. It's part of the benefit. There's the vault. There's all my models. Don't forget to download Brood of Beast. That is just for this month. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I agree, Aloha. It's been nice. Paint says, at some point I need to do more work on my models and get pointers on Transpose Master. I have watched the videos, but feel like I'm missing something. It's because you haven't done it nearly enough. I don't even think you've done it 12 times, you know? Like, just, you are in that stage, Paint, where you need mileage. You need a lot of mileage. Because there's a million different things that can go wrong with Transpose Master, and you're not going to know until you hit that problem. And then as you hit them, just come over and be like, bam, Mia, what's happened? And I'll help you. Oh, that's a fun name. Traveler is here. Hello, hello. There's a lot of goodies in your vault. There are. I'm so, so proud of the recent release too, the Nuns with Guns. I didn't say that as the name because it's a little unprofessional, I guess. I think I called it like Grimdark Clergy or something. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Nuns with Guns. What should I have sticking out of this little pouch right here? Because I have one that's open. I'm kind of tempted to make it large and then have the snake poking out of it. It reminds me of, oh, what's her face? From Baldur's Gate 3, the mean one, the cranky druid with the silly swoopy hair and the giant snake. Well, I can't remember her name. I haven't bragged about how good I am with names, and now I'm like, well, if I don't like you, I guess I don't remember your name. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway. This snake will probably be too spindly to put right here, though. Yeah, as cool as it is, it's just going to be too spindly. This is the same head that I used for my giant serpent. That's why it looks so good. But it needs to be very big to not be a problem when I go to print it. How about I just put a little human skull in that little pouch? Or some fingers. Big fan of that. Is she a hag? Yes, she is hag-tastic. So the request was from Ian. He's a patron. Would like a large hag, please, as opposed to small or medium. Broad and heavy, dressed in extravagant fur coat and undead mink stoles that rear up like serpents. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. That's a little ridiculous. Fabulous, but a little much. She has a huge beehive hairdo with a cage worked into it containing some live creatures. I thought that was so freaking cool. So that's why she has this incredible hairstyle that I'm slowly starting to put together here. The cage aspect isn't very clear. Again, I'm mostly just trying to get the essence of it. Also, Ian's been a patron of mine for a really long time. So I know that he's pretty chill. He's just happy with whatever. It actually goes for pretty much all of y'all. Are pretty mellow, and I appreciate that. Could do a small arm. Oh, that'd be creepy. Just like, okay, I think I could do that. Hello, Optimistical. The auntie? No, not her, not Auntie Ethel. The redhead druid with the snake. The one that's Kaga, right? I think that's her name. I was gonna say chicken feet. We do have some chicken feet. I did grab a foot. The arm reminds me of the yokai I did recently. The giant toad with the woman in its mouth and the arms hanging out of the basket. I'm so proud of that model. I think I might just tuck in the skull on the base instead. You know, I think that this little pouch here, it just looks too clean for the hag. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Traveler said, going by D&D lore, hags do kidnap children. Little girls slowly turn into hags themselves once they grow old enough. If they aren't lucky, lunch. I'm not sure which one I'd prefer to be at that point, honestly. Oh my goodness. You guys are fun. You know what? How about I just remove the top of it? And she can have like a bucket on her hip here. And we can really put a lot of stuff in here. Putting an entire child might be pushing the grimdark even for me. But we can do limbs. If it's already dead, I don't feel as... doesn't seem as dramatic. Oh, goodness. Thank you guys for sharing your ideas, though. I always think that's super fun. It's one of the reasons why I like to live stream so much. It just makes so much sense to live stream on Patreon because y'all are the ones getting the models, you know? All right, delete. I need one more of these straps. Here we go. I like when it grabs the top of whatever it's holding. It reads a little better. Nice. Very good. Ooh, we could rip the wings off the Fae and stuff copies of those in there. Having a bunch of wings would be really cool in there. Does anyone here read webtoons? There's a webtoon called Suit of Armor, or similar to that. It's not literally that. Oh god, bad at names, I guess. Anyway, but that's part of it. Like, elves are just fairies whose wings have been removed. Makes me think of that. Chicken feet. Yeah, webtoons. How do I not know the name of this webtoon? I read a lot of webtoons. A little less recently, because they've been so obnoxious with the ads. Suitor armor. Haha, because it's a pun. Yes, anyway. Webtoons? No, I'm not sick enough. Hey, there's all kinds of different stuff on there. It's not just all sake, whatever. I haven't say that right. Trash. Which I like some. I like some trash. I do. Oh yes, and then Ricky, my husband, being on topic. While we're here, are you guys submitting for the painting competition? Right? Right? You are? You have until the 26th to submit your entry details here. Yeah, please submit. I love seeing your painted minis. And you can get a free month on Patreon, or if you're already a patron, I'll sculpt your request ASAP. And there is an art club event to match. This is true. That is in Discord. There are so many fun things. So you might as well pick something. Submit! I knew this was a dictatorship. Funny. I love that you guys can spam like the stream with emojis. Gosh, that is not getting old. I'm a little annoyed that I can't do it. I don't understand why I can't do that on my own stream. But it's fine. Alright, we got some chicken feet. They're kind of big. I don't want any of these, I've decided. I do want the bird head. That's some big chickens. Hey. It's pretty freakishly big. I like it. All right, split points. Oh my goodness, the faces. I can see it at the corner of my eye, just mess. Amazing. All right, let's move these over. I use this lantern constantly. I just think it looks so cool. Nice big spooky lantern on her hip. Ooh, I like this claw thing. This flower is much too pretty. Can't have that for this model. All right, we can put some monster parts in this big bucket. Yes, yes, very good. Don't need this. Ooh, I will grab the horn though. Monster part bucket. This is one of those models that's going to look exceptionally fantastic, scaled up nice and big. All my models look really good scaled up big just because of the way I designed them anyway, but there's a few where there are all these different little elements to print and paint. Pretty fun. All right, let's do move and back face mask, add a little bit of chunk to those fingers. There we go. Speaking of the art event, there are too many options on doing childlike baby companions. There are a lot of options. I mean, you could always do like a toy if you wanted to, like a cat tower for the Displacer kitten. ZBrush has decided it is done. That's fine. That's the first time this has crashed. I think this is less intensive on my PC. YouTube, oh my goodness. Poor thing crashed constantly. You guys know that. This is promising. Oh, cool. Just Single did a little sketch. Okay, here's a very quick example of the shaved tusks. I'm not suggesting this for the hag. I just thought it'd be neat to think about. Oh, that is cool. Also, you like nailed that exactly. I sketched it to make it easier to think to incorporate into a different design in the future. No, that's freaking cool. Also, the pure white background's weird for me too. I'm so used to it. And then, oh cool. Catfish is working on a little wind-up paladin. How fun. Is Catfish in the stream or just being weird out of the stream? Come hang out. Here we go. Very nice. I think I'm going to put the chicken foot in here instead. I just like the idea of a monster's part. Yeah, Catfish is antisocial. That's okay. He's also been busy too. There's been a lack of Catfish nonsense. Catfish is one of the members in our Discord community, and he is just an absolute goofball. I don't even think his username is Catfish anymore. But now I can't stop calling him that because that's what he was. I think the shaved tusk idea is really cool, Kai. I also don't know what to call you now. Are you Kai? Are you just lingual? Feels like I'm full naming you by calling you Kai, like a real name, instead of just lingual. There we go. All right, we're back. Well, we have tons and tons of detail and fun stuff on here now. I need to start thinking about the pose. With the lantern, was this hag a former fairy like the two sisters? I'm gonna go with yes. I love that idea. Good thinking, good thinking. You guys are so creative. All right, let's merge all of these little goodies and details together. So far, I'm very happy. Like, so here's the encounter that she's going to be part of with this really cute fairy warlock. I think she's so pretty. And I'm very happy that this character we're working on today, the hag, definitely matches so far. Traveler said, I'd be chatting more, but I have a demanding chihuahua needing lap pets while I watch. That is much more important. That's awesome. Kai says, I'm not picky. Lingual, just lingual is fun. Kai is my name. Both are fine. I'll probably just go back and forth with no real rhyme or reason. There is a lack of roaring thunder. Yes, my dog Maverick is not in here right now. It's true. I have a pug, for those of y'all who don't know, who is very stereotypically a loud snorer. Very loud snorer. There we go. I'm a little worried that I haven't incorporated the cage element to her hair. I want to make sure I have an idea. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna draft a little cage. Nice and easy. I'm gonna go to symmetry, turn on radial symmetry. Ooh, I got on the right axis the first time. Fancy. All right, we're gonna grab curve tube and I'm gonna use this as the base for the cage. See how I didn't wrap, it just like cut through the sphere? If you change your picker from 1C to continuous C and then do it again, it'll work. All right, that's probably a little too many bars. Let's try 6. And I'm gonna turn off perspective and I'm gonna try to draw a straight line. Good job, me. All right, I'm gonna split mask points and then Z-remesh by half to hopefully get more of like a square tube look. Very nice. Oh, and without symmetry. I don't want symmetry. Very good. Awesome. Now that we have more of this look here, I will join them somewhat together at the top. And I'll add some sort of like little spike if I think I need it. All right, we now have the beginning of what looks like a cage. That would be a cool model in itself. Creating like a cage terrain piece. I'll think about it. Just Kai instead of just lingual. That could work. Because I was thinking we could add like this big contraption on her head. Bear with me. Something kind of like this, and then we could have like a little creature on the inside. Like, no. Maybe even like a fairy or something. My issue with a fairy is that it would be very difficult to see a mini on a mini. Ricky, wait, your name isn't Justin. Kai says, I also have the name Ricky as a middle name, so I could be just Ricky. No, I veto that. That'd be too confusing. What about something like a toad? That would be a much smarter idea, Traveler. Ooh, I like the idea of a toad because toads are somewhat, you know, common familiars, and that would be a really good seed for an encounter idea. Like if someone's toad got stolen and that's the quest, it's like, my toad is gone. And then like you go to find the toad thinking you'll just be like some weird easy quest, but it tracks all the way through a swamp to a hag. That would be a fun little encounter. I'm thinking. I just don't know how to make it look like the toad is trapped because it would be so easy just to go through these bars. But if I duplicate this and rotate it, that might be a little too much. Ooh, no, I have an idea. Okay, I can figure this out. I think it would look better if this was stretched upwards just a touch. And I like the idea of these bars being really weird and kind of lopsided too. I can also just kind of have the cage stuck in the hair and then just the toad is like pressed into the hair and just like, eh. I think that could be fun. Kai says, encounters like that are why I think low-level campaigns are the best. Fighting a dragon and then God, boring. Bad power scaling. Looking for a toad in a swamp and being jump scared by a large hag full of character. Lots of storytelling. Fear. Growth. Maybe that should be our first module collab. I don't know. All right, I think that this cage is looking really good and it fits the form of the top bun here. And then maybe instead of having the beehive, which admittedly doesn't make as much sense, I can smush a little toad in there. Now the question is, can Mia sculpt a toad? I think so. Okay, we're gonna be smart. I'm not gonna immediately try to sculpt a toad without looking at a toad. I'm smarter than this, guys. All right, half of my results, some of my results are from Mario and some of them are of literal toads. Yeah, I would like to have a toad that's like a little disgruntled about being, like, I love that he doesn't look afraid at all. Just kind of like, this is dumb. I would rather not be in here. Emperor says, he'll have the option to escape, but will he have the brain cells to rub together to do so? Title, Frog Captors, The Search for the Magical Frogs. And wait, Mia, the model you made with the ghost lady reaching out of the mouth. Oh, I've already done a toad. I've already literally sculpted a toad. You're right. You're right. I'm gonna do it from scratch anyway, but you're right, I have done this. Why do I get Hansel and Gretel vibes from this? Ooh, a little bit, huh? I like that idea too. Anything to incorporate like old fairy tales I think is fun. I love how Empress immediately solved my problem and I was like, you know what? It's a sculpting stream. I guess I'll sculpt. All right, we're gonna add 2 big bumps for the eyeballs. And then a little nose. The trick is me making this head really flat. And then I can pull these little eye nodules forward and I can have them act as eyebrows if I do that. And that'll be important because I want him to look up pretty disgruntled about the whole situation. Add in some eyeballs. Do not sculpt perfect spheres on your own. Just add spheres. It will look better too, I promise. This is looking pretty toad-like. There we go. You look mad too. Oh, sculpting like angry little dudes brings me so much joy. Amazing. Oh, goodness. All right, I need to slash brush to chill out for a second. Who's had this idea first? Traveler? Good one. Good job. I'll probably add just like 2 front legs. I'm not going to sculpt the whole toe just because I won't need to. All right, those don't look like arms at all, but just trust me. There we go. Funny little things here. Scoot that way up, maybe. Nah, it's okay the way it is. I think that's gonna read the way I want it to. I need to make it pretty exaggerated. He grumpy. Traveler says, I do like to contribute. Well, if you have ideas like that, you are extra welcome to contribute. Also, like, it's perfect, because that's why I want to stream. That's why I want to stream on Patreon, too. It's perfect. Nifty said, I'd be super happy if you made a super fat toad. Ask and you shall receive. I suppose that's a reasonable, fun one. Maybe I will give him a big belly. Okay, it is immediately funnier to have this impossible amount of toadage. Too much toad. All right, we need to fit him into our hairdo sooner than later. That way I can kind of see how much of him is actually going to be visible or not. Yes, I feel the fatness. Guy says, I love Grumpy Toad. Let's just switch the entire stream idea to Grumpy Toad. Well, I'm glad you guys are having fun. Oh, man. I think first Patreon stream has been a huge success. All right, he's obviously not very done, but we can squeeze him in. Oh my gosh, the more I look at him, the funnier he looks. Depending how you paint him, he doesn't even have to be a toad. He could just be like this strange little fey creature. Oh my god, guys, that is so funny. Like, he doesn't even... He just sits here. And the worst part is, like, he wouldn't even... He can still move his mouth. So I just imagine, like, he's in here and he's super mad, but the hag is super stinky and gross, right? So there's lots of flies around her. So he's mad, but he's well fed. He doesn't have to work very hard for the food. But the premise is still hurting his little toad dignity, I think. Yeah. This should be its own model. Just a grumpy little guy in a cage. Oh, this is beautiful. This is great. Maybe hands on the bars like a prison. This house is a prison. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Or kind of just like smushy. There we go. Yeah, good call, Nifty. Okay, the amount of fat I have in the toad is a little... I need to move the hair so I don't have to be forced to sculpt back legs. Kai says, the premise is hurting his little toad dignity is my favorite quote today. I think that's a pretty good one, yeah. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh. It's too bad I'm not having any fun. Oh man. I need to put like a little cap to the top of the cage. Doesn't have to be a big deal, just a little something, something. There we go. Just something a little rough. Oh, what a fun detail. Oh, thank you guys for being part of that and helping me put that together. I just would not have come up with Toad on my own. And then to like be so excessive with the amount of like personality in it, it's fabulous. Love it, love it, love it. Traveler says, also for a comical low-level adventuring twist on the hunt, down the lost toad concept, the party finds out the hag is in a tizzy because her toad keeps getting stolen due to people stealing it, believing that somehow it possesses means that the hag must grant their requests, kind of like blackmail. Or they want it, believing it is a secret fae and would take them to the Feywild and grant them wishes. It's not, and the hag is just exasperated. I love when stories like that where you like put it on its head where like the villain's not really a villain. They're just trying to like live their little life, but they keep getting so inconvenienced they become villainy. Oh, that's really funny. And so she just stuffs him in her hair for safekeeping. That's a great idea, Traveler. Oh, I feel like this encounter is just writing itself. And of course, he hates being in her hair. Absolutely. But he must be there for safekeeping. I don't think I have to even go that crazy with the pose. I think this kind of tells its own story. I would do more like written modules and encounters, but I just don't even know like what I would need to provide, I guess. Like if I was giving notes to like a friend to run this, I would know what to say in like a PDF, but to make it into like, I don't know, this is like my job. Like I do a really professional job of like doing renders of my models and this and that. So I guess I wouldn't really be sure what to provide to make sure it's like a quality product, you know? I guess it's just a nice PDF with like ideas and maybe some color, because like I can do that. Kai says, I actually want to make modules, so I can make an outline to help out. I would really appreciate that. Empress says, he might be a toad, but please, a spritz of water, madame. It's greasy up here. Amazing. I'm adding some lumps and warts and general goodness. I knew this model would have a crazy before and after transformation, so that's why I wanted to make sure I didn't do any of it before the stream, and I'm really, really glad that I stuck to that. Let's add some little bit of texture here as well. Just a little bit of something. Amazing. Okay, Emperor said, if it was me, not that you ask, I always want to know your opinion. Stat block, 1 or 2 story beats a DM can use to help incorporate the model in the campaign is where I would start. Okay. I think that's really, really smart. I could do the stat block too. I love writing stat blocks. I did a whole bunch of them for an old Kickstarter I did. I can't believe how people here are hanging out. We've had like over 10 people the whole time, and it just makes me very, very happy. So thank you guys. Because like I switched platforms. I used to do it on YouTube. It was my first time on Patreon, so I wouldn't be hurt, you know. It's like, different, you know. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out and supporting on Patreon. It means everything to me, seriously. And that goes for everyone. When I say patrons, you can be a free patron. So don't think that I'm like only talking with people that are giving me money. I have tons of people that will subscribe for a few months, cancel, come back. So I get it. I get it. Kai said, for single one-shots or short adventures, I always send a particular blog post that was really well written. I'm interested. Traveler says, one of the best tips on learning to make modules is to read older modules to see how they did it and build from there. Oh, that's smart. That's really, really smart. Like, proper research. Same thing goes for art. Always have a reference. It makes sense because, you know, writing is also an art form, so have a reference. I like it, I like it. Well, I think it's time to throw a pose on her. I think that'd be good. Optimistical says, I think yours is the longest continued Patreon subscription I've had. I'm honored. I really, really am. That's awesome. I have quite a few people like you that have subscribed for years. And yeah, why I get to just keep getting better. Nifty asked on an older stream just last week or 2 weeks ago, I think, being like, are you stressed like to create because it's your job? And I just felt so spoiled to say like, I don't, you know, I get to just try my best and get a paycheck every month. I mean, I really can't think of, my goodness, the definition of living the dream. So at risk of getting too sappy on you guys, thank you. I know I've said like 10 times this stream, but it's everything. It is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what's cool is I can kind of push and change things. Like I've been doing like these different releases where instead of it's an M Freedom Monday release, Instead, I just take a bunch of requests and I tailor them to fit together. Yeah, the next step really is doing modules. I think you guys are spot on. I think modules that are co-written by patrons is gonna become the next bread and butter, because we have these live streams where we can have fun and create these silly stories together. And then even if you didn't watch the stream, it'd still just be really, really fun, creative modules to run, you know? Oh my gosh, I really, really want to start DMing too. How fun would it be if I DM'd these one-shots and just had some patrons join? I understand that like D&D groups that work together can be really, really hit or miss, but I'm pretty good with people. I got no problem being like, hey you, no. In a way that isn't just super like hurtful or disruptive. So I'd be confident running a D&D one-shot with randos. Oh, there's the blog post. Yeah, let me grab that. Awesome, I got that opened up and I'll read that after. Ooh, this is nice. So this is formatted. Check that out. Immediately I see like a nicely laid out blog post and I'm like, why, how to design, start with the end in mind. That is so smart. I didn't even think about that. Reverse engineer. Like, what is the point? It sounds obvious, but I love obvious advice. Very cool. Optimistical said, I've done modules I've developed with a writer friend that incorporates our jewelry. How cool. It's super fun. That does sound awesome. All right, I'm cooking. I'm thinking about it. It's begun. Traveler says, what is your YouTube side? So I can make sure to subscribe there as well. Only reason I popped in was I got a notification you were live on Patreon. Yeah, so on YouTube, I'm also called M3DM, but they do a really bad job of sending notifications out and stuff, which is, I'm probably gonna be streaming on Patreon for the foreseeable future. Ooh, smart. Kai says, I do the same format, but include combat, social, or event for every environment. That's really smart because like the group that I play in, we are just combat fiends. We do some roleplay, but it's mostly combat. So it's nice to have both options. All right, we'll call this decor. This is her hair. I'm starting to parse the model down to get it ready for a pose. And I think we're gonna go for a pretty simple pose today. One of the big reasons I'm doing that is because it drives me crazy when I do all this detail, all this fancy stuff on a model. And then I do a pose like this or something. And when those arms are in front, you're just covering up everything that I sculpted. So I like to have kind of like open, more open-ended movement poses. Sounds good, Kai. Obviously no pressure. I know you're going on vacation soon and stuff, so we got plenty of time. But I do await excitedly. Maybe I'll assemble a little team of people that want to write, and then maybe some editors like Optimistical to give it a first read. Got some good options. And I don't know what you guys want compensation wise. I understand it's fun to be creative together, but I'm big on everybody gets their part, you know? All right. We got some of our drapery goodness here. This will be pretty easy to pose and manipulate, so I can actually decimate this now and then manipulate later. Yes, Empress, what is your question? Empress says, I have a question that relates to folding fabric. Answer. Oh yes, Reaper said, I dabble as a beta reader, so I can help with editing at least. That would be awesome. The team is coming together. All right, that's more decor, hair, drapery. Traveler said, I'd be more than happy to share some old modules from previous editions. You'd have study materials. Oh, that'd be awesome. And so people can see the glory days of 3.5 3.5 edition, 3.5 edition. I know so little about 3E. I, like most people, have come in much later with 5E, which is mostly just because of like timing. I didn't play D&D as a kid really at all. I didn't have anybody to play with or anyone that'd be interested. All my interest in storytelling and fantasy has been from games like Dragon Age. Hello, you're back, Paint. And Brissette, would it be easier to do the masking and transpose curve technique before I shape the fold itself, like curve it? Or is it always going to be a little funky and need more shaping after? It probably is easiest to do that first because it's such a big deformation. And you want to do big deformations and work your way down to smaller ones, aka large form, small form. Good question. Definitely be careful with that transpose master tool. It's powerful to do fabric folds like that, but as you're probably saying, you're like, wow, this is destroying my stuff. It does that. It does that. All right, palettes reps. I'm naming all my subtools right now. My keyboard's all the way over here. Skirt. And what is this? Not shirt. Very good. All right, we're gonna drop everything to its lowest resolution, and then I'll scroll through it to make sure nothing is super high res and being a problem, like this. 264,000 points. Have 155. All right, very good. All right, I think we're set. I think the lowest subdiv is actually too low on here, so interestingly, I'm going to delete that to make it a little easier to pose. You can go too low. There is such a thing. All right, excellent. Now that I'm here, I'm going to save this. Call this my Grim Dark Fey Hag. I always like to save a copy of my files right before I pose them, just in case I go back and want to do a different version. I have literally never done this. I have never gone back and done this. In all my 1200 plus models, I just like the idea of it, and then I can call it a backup. So, yeah. Is there a good way to make low subdivisions for posing, or do you plan that ahead? I plan that ahead. You add subdivision levels as you sculpt, as you need more detail. So, like you make your shirt, right? You extract, you zero mesh, it's super low poly, you add some thickness, and then you start to subdivide as you add more detail to it. Good question. Do you make multiple save files or work on one file? I work on one, just one. And I also save no undo history because I don't like big bloated files. If I need to do that much undo history, I'll just remake the part. Alrighty, let's go ahead and give her a pose. I did notice that most of the references here had a staff. Do we think she needs a staff? Yeah. I don't think she needs it. She's got so much stuff already. I think she just needs like a good little creepy pose, you know? Make it a lacrosse staff. Stupid idea, Paint. No. Wait, Lucrosse. Is that the same thing as lacrosse? Is that just a mistype? That'd be funny. This. You know, I said it's a stupid idea. That does have a little net on it. All the better for nabbing little creatures in Fae. Kind of awesome, actually. Okay, your idea was actually, though funny, was kind of perfect. A walking cane, that could be reasonable, and I can have something to put those ridiculous fingers on. Chicken feet cane. Oh, having the bottom of it being a chicken foot? That's weird. Ooh, I like that. Here are all my weapons I have hoarded over the years. This one looks... I'm thinking for a walking staff. I want it to be pretty flat on top, so I might grab this piece here. Because it reminds me of, oh, what is it? The Baba Yaga with the walking tree thing. All right, I want to add a bend curve to this because it being perfectly straight, it's just so boring. The bottom I still want to be flat. Well, I don't need to worry about that too much because I'm gonna put a chicken foot on it. I'm just gonna add a little curve, little variation, little twist. My chicken foot is a bunch of little pieces. That's okay. Bam. Nope. Okay. Split mass piece. I'm trying to unearth my chicken foot out of this mesh here. There we go. Very nice. I can duplicate this and now merge it back down as if nothing happened. This is why it's important not to Dynamesh unless you have a reason to. Otherwise, you're going to lose all of that variation. Not variation, individual pieces. My brain was like, this is a close enough word. And I'm like, that wasn't it at all. All right. I don't even know if this is exactly what you had in mind, Empress, but I just thought about, isn't that fun? Oh my gosh, that's so weird. I like it, I like it. That's so weird. Good job, peasants. Huzzah. That is a fun little come together of ideas. Way better than just like, oh, I'll just give her a staff because I don't know, a staff. No, like a little walking cane with a weird little chicken foot on the bottom. Oh, I love it. Bottom and top being chicken feet? Ew, like you're holding the chicken foot. I mean, okay, for the amount of work it'd be to interlace the chicken toes and the fingers, I'm not doing it, but the idea is hilarious. It looks good this way. It does. Oh my gosh. Oh, Empress, since you're my student officially again, I can give you a hard time. Empress said, I love character creature design so much. Period. Just don't study it like I should probably. Last sentence, just throw it away. Just first sentence. Oh, Lois said, model is nice and all, but I feel sorry for your neck looking down all the time. That's one of the crazy comments we got on YouTube. Like this person brand new came in and was like, oh my God, I feel sorry for your neck. I was like, crazy comments. Oh man. Pose when? I guess we're gonna run out of like weird snotty comments if we're on Patreon because people here are just gonna be sweeter. Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. I need to borrow your phone.
Oh, is it like verification codes and
Absolutely.
Will this print? Yeah, Ricky Camo. I should have had him pop over his head. He's real. Alright, let's get a pose on here. Ricky must witness the toad. He probably is watching the stream, if I had to guess. On a better note, though, I love the layering you did across the model. She looks haggard and it fits really well. Really, really nice. Thank you. Yep, Ricky's here. I'm here. What do you think of the toad? So cute. Somebody better print her at like 42mm, yeah, or like scale, yeah. Absolutely. This is gonna be the world's easiest pose. I'm so ready. Alrighty, posing. what I like to do for posing is grab the left and right arm pretty much immediately. It just makes my life so much easier. Trying to grab limbs once you've already moved them is a huge pain in the butt because sometimes you can't really grab them. Maybe they're like too overlapped at that point, so you can't get your masking brush to fit in there, and you're at the mercy of the smart function of the transpose line. You can like try to smart mask stuff. It does okay. I'm sure it could be extra fantastic if you're really good at it, but I'm not. So this works better for me. All right, next. I would usually do it with the legs as well, but you can't see them. But I still want to have that break point for the model. There we go. This will allow me to twist her torso really easily. All right, do we see... Do you mean like polygroup them and grabbing? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ricky agrees. It's hilarious. I'm very happy. All right. I usually like to keep the head pretty like square towards the camera and build around that. It just makes my life a little bit easier. So I will grab, keep the head straight and just pose stuff that's like a really big change. So for example, her arm needs to move. So I can grab her arm, scoot it on back. Oh yeah, Paint, ask a bunch of questions because I know you're specifically working with Transpose Master and trying to get good at it. Flip that, invert that mask. Let's get that arm up there. Don't worry about the elbow. Elbows, armpits, knees, busted. They're all gonna get destroyed because think about like how much your skin stretches. You can see like how different this shape is looking versus like this isn't looking that different necessarily, but the elbow looks way different. Armpits are the worst. Oh god, armpits are terrible. Look how much all this is stretching and stuff. Oh, I got decent deltoid going on now. Excellent. Anyway, highly recommend having a mirror or something nearby your desk to check your poses too. All right, scoot that in there and then bend the hand down. I love this weird walking cane so much. I almost like it more than the toad. The pose is gonna look really, really stiff and busted until it is finished. That's another thing you need to like know, okay? Oh my gosh, Nifty. I'm not reading that out loud. Oh man. Yeah, it's summer again, so you guys get like not asked for Mia flexes. I've always been pretty spindly and not very strong, so this is like the strongest I've been in my life, so I feel very proud of it. Oh my gosh, Mia started going to the gym, but found the weight didn't challenge her enough. She started benching Ricky. Are you calling Ricky fat? No, I'm kidding. But anyway, I could never. Oh my goodness. Paint said, I was trying to pose my tired scientist and the hips and legs look so bad. You probably weren't masking and rotating from the right spot. It's very sensitive. Ricky, wow, I'm not that fat. I knew he'd be there like immediately. Amazing. All right. We are now going to twist her torso here a little bit. Another thing that's very important is if you have your shoulders perfectly stacked on top of your hips, you're gonna get this like little robot pose. Relax. Like when you're just standing, like I'm sitting here, I'm like slumped. I'm kind of like melting at one direction at any given time. So just think, you need to pull your shoulder down. Either shoulder. And your pose will look more relaxed. The fancy word is contrapposto. I always want to say contrapposta because I feel like it's an Italian word. But anyway. Toad lesson number 1. Embrace the fatness. Amazing. Ooh, Traveler says, now, if I was DMing, I'd make the cane something that walks to her when she motions her hand to it or hops. That's so fun. That's really cool. Gosh. I know it's only been like a week since I streamed, but I missed you guys so much. This is so fun. All right, so if my hand was on a cane, do I slump towards the cane or do I pull is my shoulder, I don't know. Is my shoulder higher? I'm trying to think. If I was putting weight on something, do I collapse towards that side? No, I think my shoulder would be higher on that side. And then slumped away from it, not into it. I think so. Mia, will you ever do a live clay sculpting stream? I have never worked with clay in my whole life. So, maybe? I don't know. You're not the first person to ask me that. So, I don't know. Is that something you guys want to see? Probably wouldn't be very interesting. Because again, I've never done it before. I mean, does Play-Doh count? Watch me like do a clay stream and it's like my new favorite thing and I never use ZBrush again and I just like 3D scan all of my clay sculptures. That'd be crazy. A clay stream, which you then paint. Okay, whoa. We're assuming if I do clay for the first time, I'll have something that's good enough to paint. I don't think so. Can the mods or Nifty start giving daily Toad lessons? I would love that. That'd be so fun. That'd be so fun if every stream had a new Toad lesson of the day. If you want to know which shoulder sits higher when using a cane, I can check for you real fast. Could you please? Genuinely. I really had a hard time. Usually I can do the pose and understand it. Put some poses in Discord. He's not using the cane in any of those. None of those are weight bearing. Oh, there we go. These are like spicy cane poses. Like he's dancing. That's cute. She's got both of her arms on it though, so it's kind of, I said, this doesn't answer my question. Yeah, Reaper said you're terrible at this. I know, I'm like, none of these work. Hey, they're trying. That's a really cute painting. It still doesn't answer my question. Poor Paint is like, I am doing my best. Man, a little head tilt goes so far. And I can start moving the fabric. Canes are not meant to be so much load bearing. I mean, aren't they literally part of support when people walk though? I would not know. I am just assuming there. That's fair. Support, yes. Hold someone's whole weight? No. Oh no, I didn't think so. I imagine you would see it asymmetry. Shoulders are even. Sure enough. So that makes sense. Support. It's a compensation, not like a limp. It's to counter that. Okay. Oh, this guy's fancy. Look at this fancy man. That's like a decorative cane. Today I learned, yeah. I feel that this could work. What are we doing, Nifty? Oh my gosh. I think Paint put that well. It's more like walking with another leg or a thing attached to it. So it would be about normal. Okay. So I can slump as I want. All right, we're now going to turn her. Thank you, Paint. I'm like, I guess everyone's giving you a hard time. We do give Paint a hard time. Yeah, shoulders are still pretty even in that reference, from what I can see. It if anything, I guess, would lean more towards the cane, but that's mostly just because that's the step they're taking, I think. Oh, she's cute. Look at her little smile. To be fair, I normally have boom poses. Or bomb. That is true. That is very true. Oh, that's fair. Traveler said, I had the cane when I was doing concussion rehab. Woof, walked like a drunk for 3 months. Don't recommend. At least you have a good sense of humor about it. Also, remember the golden rule. It's fantasy. Go with what feels right for the character. This is true. Did you watch my YouTube streams too under a different username? I feel like I don't recognize you being a regular traveler because you just fit right into this community right now. So I hope you watch more Patreon streams in the future too. You're a hoot. She's so happy. She is. Well, she has her toad right now. Traveler says, nope, this is the first one and I plan to be a regular. Fantastic. Fantastic. I already knew, I'm like, today felt like a very successful stream. Because, like, on YouTube, we probably only get people that I would say, like, really fit in. Oh, gosh, guys, what would you say? One a month? You know what I mean? Getting someone day one on Patreon is pretty fun. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. This is probably going to be about the end of the stream here. Oh, we can see her weird little foot. I don't want to detail her foot. I might as well. It's not that big of a deal. All right. I can detail a single foot. All right, I'm coming with my clay buildup brush, and we're gonna make all of the knuckles, toe knuckles? There's a word for these. Anyway, we're gonna make them a little bit more pronounced, and the bones that extend back on the foot we will also make more pronounced. This is barely visible on the model, but when you have an excuse to detail funny little feet, I really recommend it. It adds more personality than you'd think to make like these uneven toenails and stuff. Very good. Oh, Aloha or Reaper, can you guys put an invite to our Discord in the chat right now? We're winding down the stream here, and if anybody wants to continue to hang out, we do have a little voice channel in Discord. You guys are welcome to hang out there, stream video games, your own art, really whatever you want. We also have channels for sharing like your paintings and all kinds of mini paints, but really whatever art you want. We even have a generic share your art channel. And if you sell stuff, please share it in self-promotion. We would love, love, love to see it. I don't have strict self-promotion rules at all. If you're a regular of the community, you can post there every week. I wouldn't care. Reaper does a great job on that too. Like people will like just drop in and post and self-promo and dip. We'll just politely delete your comment. But for all of our regulars, we want to buy from you. Share your stuff. There we go. We got a nice little wrinkly foot cameo there. Very nice. It's silly, but it matters. Also, that foot is too short. We're just gonna stretch these little leggies on down. It's gonna look really busted, but it's okay. We don't see that part of the model. Goodness gracious, for 3 hours, I am feeling quite proud of myself. Oh, I can't hide the cane. Hello, guys have been replaced. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I guess the mods are, it's a little less pressing now. But that's okay. I mean, the YouTube was not necessarily a whole lot of moderation needed. I mostly wanted you guys for Discord, and you guys still, that is your main thing anyway. And you've been replaced. The idea of this little cane hopping around. Oh, I love that visual. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's go ahead and delete that. Let's make her nice and big. What do we think? Yes, Aloha, Mom. Oh, you guys can't do it because... Wait. Why can just Linglify Discord invite, but my mods can't? I can't send invite link because automod, not mom. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Alright, I have automod on Patreon turned off. Look, look, see? Auto moderation. On, off. I don't know why. It won't. Or is that auto mod on YouTube? Hard to say. Not YouTube, my god, Discord. Word. This chat is using auto moderation. Oh my gosh. Will the cane have its own stat block? Probably. Oh, it'd be fun to do it like a epic, monstrous version of the cane. You guys, you know I could do it. Message deleted by auto moderation. Ask. Wait. That's amazing. Anyway, Traveler's in. I'm assuming, let's see, reading the rules and regulations, I'm assuming it's plenty of common sense. Yep, it'd just be nice, literally. Let's see, what are my official rules in Discord? 1, don't be mean. 2, no politics or religion. And then self-promo. I say all this stuff might be tabletop related. Oh, I don't really care about that. I could remove that. Anyway, it's just reserved for active community members. Don't lurk and dip. That's it. Monster cane. That would be fun. Yeah, usual common sense, exactly. But very much so, the M3DM community, it's 100% a dictatorship. If I think someone is just not quite breaking the rules, but just isn't nice, you know what I mean? I don't make a big stink about it. I don't DM them and tell them anything. I'm just like, no. Like I had someone who, they never posted political stuff, but their profile picture was very political. And I was like, dude. And to be clear, it wasn't like Black Lives Matter or something like that. It was something shitty. Anyway, it was like one notch below a swastika. And I was like, no, not you. If you don't vibe, you die. Beautiful. Exactly. Something orange, maybe? Don't even get me started. Anyway, today was super fun. I had a great time. I'll probably stream tomorrow. And definitely Wednesday. So, there is... You guys are so creative. If you have any ideas of how to expand Brood of Beast, let me know. I want to know. Here is a post. There you go. You can post ideas. It's free members are included as well. You don't have to be a paying member. Yeah. Ooh, I like this. Traveler says, I view it like this. Everyone has their view. I don't need to know it, nor they mine. Let's just nerd out. Yes. Exactly. I joke about my mods all the time, which I kind of tread this line because I like my mods a lot. I do also consider them my friends, so I really want them to do well, and I like hearing personal updates, but largely I have no idea their details, and I love that. I like that with even some of my friends. Like Aloha, I have no idea if Aloha has a job, if they live under a bridge. I have no idea, and I like that. You know? We just have a good time, and it's fabulous. Amazing. A scribble codex, if anyone wants some inspo. What's a scribble codex? I've never heard of that. I'm gonna Google it. It brought me to GitHub. Welcome to Stibble's Codex of Companions. Oh, Stibble, not Scribble. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of fun things here. Oh my gosh, cute. See, I always learn new things on stream and find like new creators and awesome stuff. That's freaking cool. Yeah. I like it. Well, this was fun. I'll take a screenshot and we'll throw that in the Patreon chat. Let's see if I can fill up the screen just a little bit more. She's gonna fit so well with the rest of the encounter too. All right, there we go. And let me try to get a zoom in of the little angry toad in her hair, because that is too much. It's so freaking funny. Just gonna draw a little bit of attention to it with a little reverse mask. Amazing, amazing. All right, y'all, it is time for a screenshot. Smile. All right, and if you have ideas you want me to bring to life, everything I sculpt on Patreon, sans some bonus terrain piece I make, is requested from you guys. Legendary patrons can put in a request every single month. I also sculpt them oldest to newest, but now that I'm doing this like encounter pack thing, sometimes I jump around a little bit, but priority goes to the oldest request first. So if you put in a request today, it's gonna be months until it gets done, unless you get a priority ticket. For the most part, it's just vibes and creative goodness, so thanks for being part of it. He looks like a David. For the toad. Empress says, I've said it before, Mia, no other sculptors do what you do with such clarity, which is why I hope to follow your steps when going in my own direction. Oh, I really appreciate that. You're a sweetie. Aw, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I love what I do. All right, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for being cool with this big change now that we have moved location. I think we're going to be on Patreon for the foreseeable future. So I'll do some updates on YouTube to tell people that we have moved. But honestly, the core peasants are in Discord anyway, and then they come hang out. All right, Brew to Beast ideas, put them in. I'm doing a mini marathon, sculpting marathon on Wednesday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Today started at 12:30, so just 30 minutes later than today. This is the start time. Stream's about 3 hours. There is a painting competition going on. I just dropped a really cool Nuns and Guns set. Thanks for supporting me on Patreon, free or paid. It does make it's a big deal. Yeah. Tell a friend about me that also likes D&D stuff for TTRPGs or sculpting in general. And that's really it. That's everything. All right. Y'all take care, and we'll probably see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.